Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
That's why I call my thing the marathon, because I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
Certified BLACK all day. What's up, family? Happy New Year's, happy 2023. All of my people, all my FBA freedmen, the whole certified black society, my certified 100, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. Hey, I appreciate y'all for pulling up and tapping in with the Black Alpha Network. This Black AlphaCast is going to be hotter than ever. It's going to be more fire, more thorough, more uncut, and more of that FBA straight to the point, direct game. Y'all feel me? Appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all my new subscribers. I appreciate all my day ones. I just appreciate everybody. That's what it is this year right now. This year is the year of the FBA, just like last year was, just like the last 400 years has been. Only difference is now we're going to say that shit with our chest, loud and proud. We're going to make sure every single person hears it, and we're going to make sure every single person gets the point all the way till we get our reparations. And that's the bottom line, point blank, period. It's FBA, first, last, and everything in between. Yes, indeed. I hope everybody had a good New Year's. I hope everybody's year starts off great. I hope all your dreams become a reality. I wish a clean bill of health to you and everybody that you love. And I wish you get a big old paper stack of money and you can spend it as you please. Because y'all know everybody be out here pocket watching us any goddamn way. Everybody want to know what you gonna do with the money. Where'd you get all the money? Where'd you get that dollar? Motherfuckers be out here policing our change. Where'd that nickel come from? You didn't have those quarters yesterday. Where you get them quarters? Hey, you know it's one thing when a motherfucker pocket watching your dollar bills. It's a whole nother thing when motherfuckers is pocket watching your change. Well, they gonna have to keep on pocket watching because we got a whole lot of money to make. Put it this way, we keep pocket watchers in business. How about that one? All the pocket watchers in the world, they're gonna be fully employed fucking with Freedmen because we gonna have a whole lot of money and we gonna keep their eyes bucking and bulging the fuck out because we gonna keep on cashing them checks. Believe that. Today, though, family, we're going to break down the difference between a freedman and a fleer. A freedman and a fleeman. A freedman and a goddamn flea. All right, that's what we going to do. Y'all heard me say that before. I always say, freedmen build, fleer steal. I always talk about the different mentalities between an architect and somebody who's always watching and trying to steal what someone else creates. See, when you got the ability to create, when you got the ability to say, I'm going to put food on the table at 8 o'clock and that food's on the table at 7:30, that's different from the person who cannot put food on the table. When a man or a woman cannot provide for their family, when a man or a woman is struggling and they just can't come up with something, that's the mentality that they have. And that's completely contrast to what we got. We've been making lemonade out of lemons for years. We've been the rose that grew from concrete for years, which basically translation to that, family, is that we've been winning against all odds. And our whole existence is against all odds because everybody has stacked the odds against us. And what happens every time someone lines that shit up? We knock that shit right down. And that's exactly what we're going to do to all these goddamn fleas out here. All these folks who want to jump in on our culture. All these folks who want to take our tangibles, our resources, our results. You know what it is. And we're going to make sure that none of that shit goes off today. Today is all about the American freedmen. This year is certified. Salute to all of my family, this whole family tree. Because the thing that everybody has to worry about right now is that we're not winning in silence no more. You feel me? Hey, tell me y'all feel me on that shit. Tell me you feel me. We're not winning in silence no more. We used to win and get these little quiet victories here, there, and all that shit. Now we winning and we let motherfuckers know what time it is. I always tell people, if you're a winner, act like it. Act like it. There ain't nothing wrong with being bold about your family tree. There ain't nothing wrong with being bold about your lineage, your heritage, and your culture. Let me tell you this. If you ain't bold about your culture, somebody else is going to be. And that's what they was doing in the past. We wasn't putting our flag on that shit. We wasn't putting that stamp on it. That certified 100, that made in FBA, made by FBA, created by FBA. We wasn't doing that. So other motherfuckers said, well, hell, they ain't gonna put their flag on it. I'm gonna put my Nigerian flag on it. I'm gonna put my Mexican flag on it. I'm gonna put my wherever on the fucking earth flag on it. And they was running around with our culture, running around with our style, running around with our creations. They created a whole nation worth of stealing from foundational black Americans. This is why I always tell people, you cannot be pro-reparations and pro-immigration at the same time, because they want to give immigrants your reparations money. They want to give immigrants the creations that our ancestors built. They want to give immigrants the creations that we come up with today. So y'all know what time it is. The whole system is based on people coming over here and putting their hands on our pot. Fuck that. Not anymore. Not anymore. And we are the era, we are the generation that has changed that. I want everybody to focus on this year. And I was just telling everybody on the space I had the other day, I want you to start looking at things from a historical level. I want you to start looking at things from a categorical level. I want you to look at the role we're playing in our era in time, and I want you to compare it to other eras in time. Not on who's better, no, because we all the same. We stand side by side. I want you to look at it, though, by the changes that we've created. I want you to look at it by the momentum that we've gained based upon doing what we need to do, based upon having the luxury to learn from the mistakes of the past. As we were saying, the quiet victories are over. We're going to be bold and we're going to be brash. And we're going to piss some motherfuckers off. You know, the best thing in the world is when a motherfucker hates you and you keep them hating. Is when a motherfucker pocket watching and you keep them pocket watching. That means that you on your job of winning and they on their job of losing. And being a loser is a lifetime thing. Yes, the fuck it is. You show me a lineage that is a loser, and I'm going to show you a lineage that's going to lose for their whole damn life. Now, you show me a lineage that is built of winners, then I'm going to show you American freedmen. Yes, indeed. And that's what we are. So when we break down this freedmen versus this fleeman mentality, the first thing you see is victories versus failure. See, when you're from a lineage of victories, like we are, when you're from a heritage of victories, like we are, when you're from a culture of victories, like we are, you walk different, you talk different, you move different. And if you walk different, talk different, and move different, that means everybody follows you. Let's say this. Our culture is not duplicated because we've lost. Our culture is duplicated because we win. A motherfucker would not dress like us if we weren't winners. A motherfucker wouldn't talk like us, walk like us if we weren't winners. They wouldn't be trying to duplicate our music. They wouldn't be trying to look like our beautiful black women. They wouldn't be trying to look like our strong black men. They wouldn't be doing none of that shit if we was losers. How do you know? It's because we don't act like them. You see it? Hey, facts, receipts, proofs in the motherfucking pudding. The very fact that they act like us and we don't act like them, that shows you who the winner and the loser is. Nobody's running around here saying, man, I'm gonna cock my hat to the side like the loser. I'm gonna go ahead and try to sing like the loser. I'm gonna try to dance like the loser. I'm gonna go to all of their summits, all their rallies and protests and try to eat off their plate because they losers. Fuck no. They only do that because we can do things that they can't do. Rewind, let me say that again. They only do that because we do things that they cannot do. And by definition, family, that's exceptional people. And that's exactly what we are, exceptional people. So our mentality is completely different than theirs. We wake up every single day and say, how can we get it? It's in our DNA. I'm talking about our actual DNA structure. This has been passed down ancestrally. You feel me? Everything that we do right now, this was in us when we were born. We went through this transformation of being a different breed of folks. We went through this transformation of just moving completely separate than the whole world. And when I say the whole world, I'm talking about the whole world. I'm talking about, yes, other black people who look like us. Other folks with dark skin are not like foundational black Americans. Let's make that crystal clear for the whole goddamn world. See, what people want to do, they want to come around here and act like us, walk like us, and talk like us. And say, we all's black, so we all's the same. Hell no, we ain't all's blacks, so we all's the same. We different. We hit different. We move different. Every single thing about us is separate. And that's what I love the most about this generation right here, is because we're the first generation to come along and say, yeah, we different. Yeah, we different than everybody. Ain't no shame in it. And then when motherfuckers try to shame us and say, you're being a xenophobic, you're a hate group, you hate everyone. See, we didn't fall for that shit. We didn't fall for that. If anything, that made us even get more stern with our culture. Nothing they have tried has knocked us off of representing our lineage. Nothing. Matter of fact, I'll go as far to say everything they've thrown at us to stop us from being FBA lineage strong has only made us more FBA lineage strong. They running out of options, y'all. They running out of fucking options. They done did it all. They done tried to shame shit. They done tried to flip us. They try to use reverse psychology. They try to slander us and smear us, and ain't none of that shit work. Ain't none of it work. This shows you how powerful we are. This shows you the era that we're in. And this shows you the difference between a freedman and a fleer. We're not sitting here trying to get them to stop being their lineage. We're not trying to get them to stop being themselves. We're not telling them quit representing your nationality, your lineage, your ethnicity. We ain't said none of that. You see the difference there, family? One group is trying to get the other group to stop being who they are. Yeah. We are the only people on the earth that motherfuckers get mad at you just for being you. How the hell am I gonna get mad at you for being you? You know you in a sunken place. Don't be mad when foundational black Americans call your ass out and say every goddamn thing that needs to be said about your ass when you running around here getting mad at somebody for being themselves. Matter of fact, I'll go as far to say, trying to get mad at somebody for being who they are is the lowest shit you can do on the planet. And this is what the whole goddamn world has been trying to do to us. They've been trying to shame us. They've been trying to accuse us. They was literally out here writing pensions to get us to stop being FBA. Family, they done took that shit to paper. See what they did? They tried all the words and the little techniques, right? They tried to do reverse psychology. They tried to say, oh, y'all really African? Come on home to Africa. We're all a part of the diaspora. We said reject, reject, reject. Okay, then they said, well, we all black, brother. Blackness, blackity, blackity, black. We said reject, reject, reject. Then they said, well, fuck it then. Get me a piece of paper. I'm going to write a pension to call them a hate group. Desperate time call for desperate measures, and we keeping these motherfuckers desperate as hell. And that's what happens when you applying pressure, and that's what happens when you got them pressed. And we got all these fleers pressed. And that's the difference again between a freedman and a fleer. Oh, we breaking it down today, family. Full speed, top, drop, back, nothing but pure fire. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button and break it down. Now, the crazy part about everything I just said is that's only what happened last year. Think about that, family. All of that shit that I just said has only occurred within the last year. That's in the last year, because before you go back to when we showed up, shit was sweet for a tether. It was sweet for a fleer. It was sweet for a fleeman. Oh, they had it made. They had it made. They had the United States government just writing laws for them, trying to replace us with them, handing them everything we created. They was putting their name where our name belongs. They was putting their ancestors who weren't even in this country where our ancestors were building this country. They was replacing everything we did. They was trying to ethnocide us. That's before. And then you had a lot of these Sambo coons that were running around here promoting that shit. They was out here talking about flat blackness. They was out here talking about we's all brothers. We all a part of the diasporas. That's what they was out here running around trying to say. And then we showed up. And then, like I always tell everybody, y'all know Black Alpha Network, I'm the main one always saying, we showed up and threw a wrench in the motherfucking game. We showed up and changed everything. We have changed the world in 5 years. Imagine what we're going to do in another 5. Y'all know what I always say. We've done more in the last 5 years than they did in the last 50. Now, if you do simple math, that means another 5 equals 10. Another 50 equals 100. That means we done did more in the last 10 years than they've done in the last 100. We doing century numbers. Century numbers, and I'm proud to be a part of it, just like I know y'all proud to be a part of it. Certified, salute to the whole black grassroots, the whole FBA Freedmen family tree. It's in us, it's in our DNA, and we just letting it be known. We letting it be known. We letting it be known that nobody's gonna come up in here. That house is closed, brother. That door got a deadbolt lock on it. That got a big ass sign in the front yard says FBA only, no trespassers. We're keeping everything in house. We're keeping everything airtight and locked down, and that's the way it should have been a long time ago. But we ain't fussing because that's the way it is now, and it's the way it is now because we said so. That's what it is. We FBA and we say so. That's the motto. That's what we pushing. We telling the whole world it's FBA and we say so. So no, we're not going to debate it with you. It's not a matter of opinion. We're not going to go back and forth with no fleer, okay? You couldn't go back and forth with people in your homeland. How the hell you think you're going to come over here and go back and forth with us? You fled. That's another thing, family. We're not sitting here having no conversation with a motherfucker who fled. See, when you flee, I'm talking about you're so afraid that you get to running. That tells me a lot about you. That tells me a lot about you. Oh, we're going to break it down. We're going to break down the difference in mentality, the difference in approach, the difference in soul. See, when you got a person who faced every single thing that we faced here, and when I say everything, I mean everything. Anything horrible, anything terrible, anything unimaginable we faced right here in this country. I'm talking about all types of despair, and we ain't never run. We ain't never packed our bag. We ain't put a goddamn shirt in the suitcase. These motherfuckers left without a suitcase. Left without a suitcase. These motherfuckers left without their family. These motherfuckers were saying, I know I just had a kid last week. I'm jumping over this fence. Fuck the kid. These motherfuckers said, Mama, thanks for all the Jollof. Bye. Them fajitas was good, but I'm swimming over this goddamn river to Texas. That's the difference between a freedman and a fleer. We ain't never run for shit. We ain't tying up our motherfucking track shoes. We ain't hopping no goddamn fences. We ain't jumping over no barbed wire. We ain't swimming over no fucking river. I'll be damned if I swim over a motherfucking river to get away from America. I'll be damned if I'm hopping over some barbed wire fence, getting over here with my jeans got fucking cuts in them and shit. My fingers is all split up because I'm that afraid of where I'm from. And then when I get here, I want to talk about the people who built the country. You can't talk to us. You can't even take a fucking number and sit down and get an appointment with foundational black Americans. You better sit your ass down, go get a fucking passport, or rewind yourself and go the fuck back home. That's what you better do, and that's the only thing you can do, and that's the only thing that we've made it possible for them to do in the first fucking place. Yo, we done changed the game. We done changed the game. We ain't tolerating the disrespect no more. We ain't letting no motherfucker who couldn't get it popping in his own homeland come over here and speak on our homeland. Come over here and tell me what my ancestors did. I'll tell you what my ancestors did. My ancestors created this goddamn country that you can flee to, hop to, skip to, run to, and jump to. Leave all the fajitas and jollof at home and then come here and try to speak on our business. Shit, you better wipe your feet at the door. And that's exactly what's happening. We making everybody wipe their feet at the door. The FBA door. You ain't coming in here for free. You ain't picking the locks. You ain't coming through the windows, the attic, or the basement. Your ass gonna wipe your feet at the door and you gonna show respect. Quite frankly, you gonna bow the fuck down. That's what it is, and ain't nothing left. Ain't nothing in between. We gonna say it how it is, and we gonna do exactly what the fuck we say. You wanna come over here and play Harriet Tubman, you better wipe your feet at the door. You wanna come over here, you wanna play Whitney Houston, you better wipe your feet at the door. You wanna come over here and play Fred Hampton, you better wipe your feet at the door. Oh, we see him. Oh yeah, all y'all British actors who wanna come over here and try to tell us that we all block and we should all just be able to play anything. Fuck no. You can play your motherfucking self is what you can do. Go over to your homeland, go over there to the UK, Manchester, Liverpool, go get you some tea and crumpets, go to Buckingham Palace and go play the blacks over there. If you so strong and you so powerful and you got such a rich history, then go play your own legends. Go play the legends of your own homeland. Why you got to get on the plane, fly all the way over here to America and play our legends, all right? Go play your own. That's it. Get your own shit. Why you worrying about ours? That's the difference between us and them, family. Once again, we are over here doing our own motherfucking thing, and they gotta fly all the way over here and play our legends. Where yo's at? Tell me somebody. Go play a motherfucker from the UK. I'm sure there's black Brits all over the place. Go play them. Or is it that you don't have the history that we have and you don't have the legends that we have, and when you look all across the earth and you look for black people who have actually done something in modern history, I'm not talking about a one-hit wonder from 700 fucking years ago. No, when you look at modern history and you're trying to find black folks who have actually accomplished something, the only black folks that you can find are foundational black American freedmen. So we represent success, not just our own. Apparently, we represent success for all of y'all. And then you trying to jump on, piggyback on, cling on to our success, isn't that the definition of a tether? Goddamn receipts for the family. Goddamn receipts. If you gotta get your ass up from Manchester, England, go get you some fucking tea and crumpets, fly all the way over here to America, and then try to play our legends with no respect in your brain, ain't that the definition of a motherfucking tether? Because once again, family, we don't wake up, go get on a plane, fly all the way over to your homeland and say, can I go play one of y'all characters? We don't do that. We've never done that. We never have. We never will. Once again, you see the difference. We don't think about them. They think about us. And whoever is thinking about someone else all the time, that's the loser. The person who's focused on their goddamn self, their own lineage, their own heritage, that's the winner. And foundational black Americans, we are the winners. We created the term, stay in your own lane. Family, our whole existence is about staying in our own lane. This is why all these other people gotta say, y'all hate us. We don't even know you. Who the fuck are you? We couldn't pick you out of a fucking lineup. All right, to us, all y'all motherfuckers look the same any goddamn way. Y'all all got that tether hairline that started in 1952, ended in 1953, and ain't grew a curl in 69 years. God damn, how the hell you ain't grew a curl in 69 years? God damn, I'll give you one. Motherfucker ain't grew 1.5. You ain't grew half of one. Get the fuck out of here. They out here buying fake FBA hairlines. How the fuck are you buying synthetic FBA hairlines? They got Freedmen lace fronts. Get the fuck out of, hey, when we was out here saying, family, when we was saying that they had that tether hairline, motherfuckers was saying, oh, that's FBA xenophobia. And the next thing you know, you see these motherfuckers going to the barber saying, I want my hairline like his. I want the Freedmen hairline. You sure you don't want me just cutting the shit? No. I want the hairline like an American. What's the hairline like American? Oh, I get it. We got the hairline that actually goes straight. You got the hairline that goes back. Okay. So we was right the whole motherfucking time. We gave these motherfuckers tether hairline receipts. And now they go get them FBA hairline receipts because they went and bought the motherfucker. Did y'all see Akon? Tell me y'all seen Akon. Matter of fact, ho. Speaking of goddamn fleers, Freedmen and fleas, Akon is all three of the motherfuckers. Speaking of that, not only did this guy run around here and say all that reckless shit about FBA, we did dance better and we do this better and do this better. Only motherfucking thing you do better than us, homeboys, eat Jollof and go buy fake hairlines. All right. Outside of that, you ain't doing shit better than the FBA. As a matter of fact, you just another fleer who fled, came over here and tried to make money off of foundational Black American culture, and now you're trying to weasel your way back over to Weasel Land. See, Tethers like him, he can't show his face around us no more. Y'all notice that he used to do these little interviews over here. Now all of a sudden he's doing interviews in the fucking UK, another Tether strong front. He's doing interviews over there in Africa, another Tether strong front. They can't show themselves in foundational Black American events. They can't come around foundational Black Americans. No way, shape, or form. We've been running these fleers off the block. Are y'all surprised that we running fleers off the block? Because don't they run for a living any goddamn way? They already ran from their homeland. They already ran from their countries. They already ran from their families, left everything they love behind. So are you surprised that we running them off the block? It's just basically simple play. FBA shows up, they get out of Dodge. So Akon has went further and further and further away from America, where he's trying to throw these little fake shots at FBA, but he's saying that shit from some fucking hut in Senegal, okay, with no lights on and shit. And he's over there talking about us. We don't hear nothing you saying, brother. We ain't hearing nothing you saying, because I'm going to tell you right now, that fake ass hairline you got, that shit may get you a couple tether females over in Senegal. That shit may get you a couple fleers in Zimbabwe. But over here, foundational Black American women gonna roast your ass. And then you gonna get more and more mad. And that's what's happening. We got these fleers disgruntled. We gonna break it down though. Did y'all hear when he was having that little interview and he started talking about stage presence? Did y'all hear that shit? He was on there talking about something. We just have better stage presence. It's like every single thing you ask this guy, he's got to bring up foundational Black Americans. That even further lets you know that we living rent free in this dude's head. Every time they ask him a question, it's all about Freedmen. You could ask this motherfucker how are things going on in Senegal, he's gonna somehow bring up the Freedmen. You could ask this motherfucker how are things going on with his family, he's gonna bring up Freedmen. You could tell that we are in the center of this dude's tether ass brain and he can't think no further than what we doing. But that ain't no shocker because that is exactly what they're all doing. All them UK actors and actresses, when they eating their little motherfucking fish and chips and they tea and crumpets, they thinking about Freedmen. When them little Senegal folks is over there thinking about running, hiding, and eating some Jollof, they thinking about Freedmen. And when all these other fleers are calling up our Twitter spaces trying to speak about our reparations, they all thinking about foundational Black American Freedmen, and foundational Black American Freedmen ain't thinking about them. But since we talking about them and how they have the same mentality, let's show you how a tether from the UK and a tether from Senegal think exactly the same way. They both have us on their brain. We were just talking about those actors who come over here and talk all that bullshit. Well, let's talk about how, what's that dude named? Demetrius Tether? Him? Demetrius Fleer? That dude. When he was talking about how he can come over here and play this and play that because it's all blackness. You know, they love the term flat blackness. And he says how Whitney Houston is a character. Family, what? Woo! Y'all know how I feel about Whitney Houston now. Y'all know how I feel about Whitney Houston. They better slow that shit down. Because there's this obsession with a Fleer with keeping our legends in their mouth. See, they never come at us. Y'all notice that? Y'all notice that, right? They'll never come over here and start talking about us live in the flesh. Those of us who can defend ourselves. Those of us who are here today. Y'all notice that, right? They do U-turns around us. They bust hops and skips and triangles to get away from the living foundational Black American Freedmen. They always want to come over here and talk about Fred Hampton, a gentleman who's not here to defend themselves. They want to talk about Harriet Tubman, a lady who is a foundational Black American who hasn't been around for years. Then they want to talk about Whitney Houston. Put it this way. If a foundational Black American passes away tonight, you'll see every fleer on the fucking planet Earth trying to line up to play them in a movie. Yep. And then you're going to have all these little directors out here trying to play them. And a lot of people don't know is that a lot of these directors, these talent agents, these producers out there in Hollywood, a lot of them are fleers. So it's a whole game here where the fleer producer wants to call the fleer director so they can get some fleer actors to come play some genuine foundational Black Americans. You see what I'm talking about? It's a whole gang. And they all got this shit on the same side. So Demetrius Fleer, he was sitting there talking about Whitney Houston saying, am I any less black because I'm from the UK? No, you're not a black American. Quit acting like you don't know what the fuck lineage is. That's another thing they do. They always act like nationality don't mean nothing. Now you go over there to their homeland, oh, it's nationality all goddamn day long. Let one of these motherfuckers win an award. And they gonna say, and the award goes to so-and-so from Zimbabwe, so-and-so from Manchester, so-and-so from Jamaica. They always put their nationality in the front whenever they have a victory. Now, if you see some Tether or some Fleer commit a goddamn crime, rob a store, get caught with drugs, get caught with a weapon, then all of a sudden they just black. See, they know when to hop from black to nationality whenever it's convenient. But whenever we bring up our nationality, then they want to say, well, what is nationality? We're all black? Nah, fuck that. And that's what we put it into, is that we all's black. Okay? No, we foundational black American freedmen. Get it right. How the hell you gonna say black and you gonna leave out foundational and freedmen? Put it this way. Let me say this loud and proud and clear to the world. Whenever you mention somebody from our lineage, you can say black. But if you don't say freedmen or foundational, then you might as well not say a motherfucking word. And that's the difference between us. If you ain't saying foundational or freedmen and you're referencing us, then you keep your motherfucking mouth closed. That's the bottom line. And that's how you cancel all that flat blackness shit. Lineage based. The way we move is lineage based. The way we think is lineage based. Our policies, our thoughts, our actions are all lineage based. And that's the bottom line. And that's what they cannot stand. So this Tether, Fleer, Freedman, Flea, he comes over here and he starts talking about how Whitney Houston is just a character and how he's just black and da-da-da-da-da. Now, he walks around all day long wanting to play James Bond and shit. He want to come over here and now we all just black. You feel me? Listen to this.
Have you followed this story? And I want to ask you about this with actors who are black and the whole idea of English black actors taking American roles. I was in a bar. I was at Chiltern, having a drink, and next to me, the actor who's playing Whitney Houston. She's English. I said, I hope you know, black women in America are going to be like, English woman playing, you're playing one of the most iconic African-American women ever. And it's a thing. What do you feel about that?
Even the way you framed it up, of taking American roles, right?
Yes.
It's crazy that
it's crazy that it's,
right?
it's
But
like,
you know what I noticed? You said a black woman in America versus an English woman. Like, being English makes you less black.
exactly. That's the issue.
Like,
That's the issue.
to me, that defines how unintelligent the whole argument is. No disrespect to anyone
course.
that has that feelings. It is what it is. But the fact is, we're all black. Like,
Man, if he don't sit his ass down, boy, you better keep that shit over there across the pond, Flea man. Because he knows goddamn well it ain't no flat blackness. He knows goddamn well he can't play our culture. He can't play our lineage. He ain't got the soul. What we said, man, these motherfuckers ain't got no swag. They ain't got enough swagger to play in the FBA. I'm telling you, a little FBA child got more swagger than these 35-year-old fucking men over there. When you watch them, it's like a carbon copy of us. It's comical, to be real. And that's another thing they don't like. We laugh at them motherfuckers. Don't we? Family, don't we? We be laughing at them. I know y'all done seen somebody from somewhere outside of America trying to act like an FBA and we be laughing at their ass. Have y'all heard that UK drill music? That UK rap? Oh my God, that shit is terrible. It sounds like polite gangster music. I don't know if this motherfucker want to do a drive-by or go mop the floor for me. That shit so goddamn non-threatening. He be like, I pull up to his block with the Glock. I bust shots at the cops. Don't stop. What the fuck is that? Man, after listening to that shit, I don't know if I want to go crip walk or boardwalk. That shit make me want to go listen to the Beatles or some shit. That definitely don't give me no gangster mentality at all. They be in there talking about some 2 middle fingers to the sky, real fucking high. If y'all don't knock that shit off. Oh, and that's just the UK rap. Oh, don't even get me started on that African shit. Oh, hell no. Y'all remember that, I want to take you to the movies, dude? Tariq used to always play the video. This your boy Bonds. I dedicate this to you, girl, and all the ladies who want to go to the movies. Get the fuck out of here. He got his do-rag on, his shit's over his eyes, and he can't even wear the fucking do-rag right. His ass don't look like he need to pick up the microphone. He need to pick up a bamboo stick and get the goddamn colonizer out of his country. That's where the fuck he need to direct his raps at. Quit trying to take women to the movies. They ain't going with your ass, homie. You ain't got no swag. Your hairline is completely fucked. And do-rags are not meant to cover your eyes. Hey, that's what we talking about. They can't even do us right. Y'all motherfuckers sit back, watch all of our movies, listen to all of our music, sit there and pull out the notepad. Y'all got colored pencils and markers or whatever the fuck you writing with, and you're sitting there taking notes about foundational black Americans, and you still fuck that up. You got folks over in Africa making Coming to America rap music. You got folks in the UK making polite gangster music, and neither one of them got that shit right. Get the fuck out of here. And that's what we talk about. It's a goddamn joke. And it's another sign of why we're way the fuck up here and they're way the fuck down here. So when you start talking about playing our legends, playing our pillars, playing our singers and dancers, understand your hands don't reach that high, homie. You ain't got nobody that can play Whitney Houston. That chick who played Whitney Houston, oh my God. By the way, that movie flopped. Have y'all heard anybody out there saying, y'all want to go see that Whitney Houston movie they just put out? Ain't one person out here said that. It's sad because they actually have the Whitney Houston soundtrack in the movie. Because that Fleerette could not capture that Whitney Houston soul. Because that FBA soul cannot be duplicated. We keep telling them and they keep losing. You cannot create synthetic FBA soul. Salute to my brother B Zilla for that one. You can't go up in a laboratory, come up with some secret potion. There ain't no remedy to where you can duplicate what we do. The only way that you can have foundational black American freedmen soul is if you are of the lineage of them ancestors who out there in the South in them cotton fields. I'm talking about the way we sing, the way we dance, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we speak to each other, the way we build with each other. Our camaraderie all comes from our lineage, heritage, and culture, and it is untouchable, unbreakable, unmatched, and as I always say, it's stronger than ever, and that's what's got them all shook. They trying to come up with the shit and it ain't winning. They thought they was gonna put out a Harriet Tubman movie. We said we ain't watching that shit. I ain't watching no Fleerette fly all the way over here from the UK to play Harriet Tubman. When we could just go talk to our grandmothers, the candy lady down the street, and they all got that certified American woman energy. That I will bust your ass on sight energy. That I may be pretty, but fuck around and find out energy. We ain't gotta go far for that Harriet Tubman's pistol energy when it comes to our women because they all got it. So why the fuck do they think they gonna have to sell us some shit that we can just go home to? You feel me? I ain't gotta go find no Harriet Tubman energy from a motherfucker in another place. Hell nah. All we gotta do is stay right here at home because it is exactly who we are. Foundational black American freedmen. Everybody knows that our women are as good as it gets. So why the fuck do we gotta see somebody act like us when we see each other every goddamn day? You feel me? You want to see some foundational black American Harriet Tubman energy? Go look in the mirror, sisters. You want to go see some Fred Hampton energy? Go look in the mirror, brothers. That's all it is. As a matter of fact, I just had a conversation last night with my mama, and she was telling me a story about how somebody jumped one of her brothers, and my grandmother, rest in peace, went down the street with a goddamn shotty. He was about to give him that smoke. The same thing that Harriet Tubman did, the same thing that all my sisters will do if you fuck with one of us. So foundational black Americans, we ain't got to go look at no copies because we are the real thing. We ain't got to go look at no counterfeits because we are certified, and we ain't got to look at no artificials because we are authentic. Now, speaking of being authentic, they want to walk around here all day long and say things like they can match us here and they can match us here. Now it's funny, the same motherfucker talking about how they can match FBA is the same motherfucker trying to act like FBA. If you're trying to duplicate somebody, you can't talk down to that person. See, this is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a Fleer, a Freedman, or a flea, okay? You're dealing with somebody who's full of contradictions. And somebody who's full of contradictions, translations, they on that bullshit. But y'all been noticing how all of these Fleers, Fat Joe too, because remind you, Fleers come in all different colors. They got all different accents, all different backgrounds. Some Fleers talk like, come home, brother. Some Fleers talk like, come home, brother. Some Fleers talk like, come home, brother. But at the end of the day, all the motherfuckers is talking that flea language, and we don't understand it, all right? We don't know y'all shit, so quit speaking to us. That's the bottom line. So when they run around here and they talk that talk about how great they are, how they co-contributed hip hop, and basically all you got to do is look at our lineage and all of our creations, and every single creation that you find that we know for a fact we are the only ones who created it, you're gonna see some tether from some fucking country, from some village, some hut, somewhere on the fucking planet Earth, and they're gonna say, we was really over there doing it. Mind you, we got receipts that show half these motherfuckers wasn't even in the country when it happened. These folks who say they co-created hip hop, Fat Joe, nah, because you weren't even there when we did it. These motherfuckers who say immigrants really built America, how? You weren't even here. You was still running around in your fucking homeland, fleeing and hopping and skipping and jumping, doing everything except standing next to the real architects of this country. So we got receipts that these motherfuckers went here, and that's what really burns them. They can't stand the fact that we have history in this culture. When I say history, I'm talking about since day one. All right, not day 2, 3, 4, or 5, not 2 weeks later, not 5 months later, day one. That's why the term foundational is so picture perfect, because it tells you we laid the foundation. You understand where I'm coming from? They showed up after all the work was done. They showed up after all the creations were created. They showed up after all of the grind had already occurred. That's when they came weaseling their fucking way over here. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters are the originators, are the people who started this. And if you want to find out who that is, it ain't even the dominant society. It's the foundational Black American freedmen, all of us. That's why our connection to this land is unlike anybody else. It goes unmatched. We didn't come here as colonizers. We didn't come here as immigrants or migrants or refugees or fleers or freedmen or fleas. We didn't come here as tethers. We didn't even come here. We started here. And there's a difference between those who came and those who started. And we are the ones who started, aka the originators. And how do you know that our energy and our frequencies are connected to this land more than anybody else? Have any of y'all felt this energy, or have you heard any stories where there's a Black person driving through the South? Whether you're going back down South to see family members, whether you're from the South or you just on a damn cruise, and you start to hear these stories where Black folks feel this energy. They feel something just like going through them, a vibration that they pick up on. And then they come to find out later that they trace their people back to a nearby plantation. Tell me y'all heard that story. Tell me you've heard that story before, because I've heard it from a plethora of different foundational Black Americans, and they're from all over the country. Now, as I always say, when Black people from all over the country feel the same exact thing about the same exact place, that means you feeling the same exact vibe. What is that vibe? That is your foundational Black American freedman soul, that ancestral presence that is talking to you, and ain't no fleer, fleeman, or flea could ever match it. And can't nobody match us, because we stand alone. More receipts, more spoilers, more facts, more reality. Point blank. They can't see us, y'all. They can't see us at all. That's why they got to come up with these carbon copies. You feel me? That's why they got to sit back, watch and observe, analyze, and then try to come up with some old bootleg version. That's what they be doing, y'all. Ain't no coincidence. They trying to come up with bootleg Freedmen. That's all Akon is. He's a bootleg Freedman. That's all Godfrey is. He's a bootleg Freedman. That's all Faison Slug is a bootleg Freedman. The whatever the fuck, the chick who played Whitney Houston, bootleg Whitney Houston. The chick who played Harriet Tubman, bootleg Harriet Tubman. The guy who played Fred Hampton, bootleg Fred Hampton. They ain't nothing but some fake ass wannabe FBAs. Straight up and down. I always tell people there's two types of folks on this earth. There's foundational Black American freedmen, and then there's everybody else who wants to be foundational Black American freedmen. Straight up. These motherfuckers done went to the swap meet. Hey, they some swap meet freedmen. They had to go to the swap meet and create some fake shit. They like when you get the Jordans and the motherfuckers is not J's, they're K's. They're not Jordans, they're Shortens, and the fucking sign is sideways and shit. They not Nikes, they bikies. Fuck out of here. They had to go to the damn swap meet. And we call it the flea market down. Oh, the flea market. Hey, we said it. Hey, they had to go to the flea market. Goddamn, hey, we ain't surprised. Hey, a fleaman had to go to the flea market to come up with a bootleg FBA. Damn, hey, we cash receipts when we ain't even trying. A fleer going to the flea market. Y'all see, hey, didn't I just say that the ancestors speak to you? Didn't I just say that? The ancestors sent me that one. That wasn't even me, family. That shit went way back. The ancestors sent me that one. A fleer went to the flea market. So a bunch of fleamen can flee over real freedmen. Goddamn. That shit going down in history. Salute to the ancestors for that one. That's what it was. Because they knew these fleers was coming. They knew the fleers was coming. They knew one day there was going to be a bunch of fake folks who show up. They was going to try to act like us and dress like us. And they was going to come and they was going to try to erase everything that our ancestors created. See, that's what I tell people all the time. Mind you, it's about the past, present, and the future. This era that we speak about, we regulating everybody. That's why regulation is in full motherfucking effect. And it has to be. Because we have to regulate the past because they're trying to steal our past, which means erase the Black slaves who built this country. Yes, they want to have a world where they can say immigrants built it. That's what they want. That's the end game, family. That's why when they asked Joe Biden about reparations, his answer was about immigration. Yeah, the question was reparation. The answer was immigration. Listen.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Well, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, get a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in it.
You see, that wasn't by no joke. He didn't do that shit on accident. I know he old as hell. His motor skills done slowed all the way the fuck down. But the only thing he remembers is anti-black racism. He may not remember how old he is. He don't know if he's the president or the goddamn city councilman. He doesn't know if his grandchildren are his granddogs. Okay, he don't know nothing. But the one thing that's on autopilot is his anti-black racism. How do you know? It's because when you ask him simple questions about everything else, he's You ask him a question about us, it's, you ain't black. That motherfucking shit pop in quick then, right? His recall is fast as hell. So you see he's on anti-black autopilot. So when he said immigrants built America, when the question was about freedmen and reparations, he did that shit on purpose. He did that shit exactly on purpose because that is the supremacist playbook. And the supremacist playbook is very, very reluctant to ever give credit to us. And they're very, very keen on sliding it over to the immigrants because those are the people they're trying to replace us with. So when we say that we are out here regulating, we are regulating the past. We've had to gatekeep folks from trying to erase our ancestors this whole goddamn year. You've seen all these folks trying to get their hands on our ancestors' creations when they running around here saying they created America. We created America, so therefore anybody who says it was them, that is a direct attack on our ancestors, and we ain't been going for that. We've been G-checking that shit. So that's people trying to steal from our past. And then when you look at folks saying they created hip-hop music, when you see folks saying there's a new Michael Jackson every fucking Wednesday, you notice that the new Michael Jackson is always a non-FBA? Michael Jackson was a foundational black American freedman from Gary, Indiana, but yet all these new Michael Jacksons don't even be from America and they damn sure ain't even black. They got to go and export a new Michael Jackson in. So that's them trying to steal from our present, and we all know they do that so they can weaken our unborns of the future. So family, that's the past, present, and the future that we all have the responsibility right here today in this era of regulating and keeping all airtight right here at home. We got our motherfucking hands full, but guess what? We stronger than ever. There's nobody ready for the job more than us. There's nobody more talented more than us. And there's nobody that's gonna step to the plate and regulate what needs to be motherfucking regulated better than us. So yes, you see this all the time. So don't think there's not an ancestral thing going on here. Don't think there's not a futuristic thing. And everybody right here in the present today is responsible with holding down this lineage, heritage, and culture and keeping all the fucking snakes out of the fray. And that's exactly what we're doing, and that's why they're mad. So people running around here right now, and I know there's this thing where folks are saying be nice with the word tether, be nice, don't hurt their feelings. Every time somebody comes around and tells foundational black Americans to be nice, that's somebody who's trying to play us. Let's get this straight, okay? Anybody, I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't give a damn. They can be here or they can be gone. If they're coming up in our space and they're trying to tell us that we need to be nice with our words, we need to be more cautious when we speak, quit saying tether, that's somebody who has a tether agenda. Because the first thing they want us to do, they want us to stop calling people out. Because once we stop calling people out, then the people are coming in. You feel me? If you don't call them out, they're going to sneak in. And we've dealt with that for hundreds of years. We've seen what happens when it's, oh, don't call out the house Negro. Next thing you know, his ass done snuck in. Oh, don't call out the decoy. Next thing you know, he done snuck in. We talk about Fred Hampton. You ever heard of William O'Neal? What'd he do? William O'Neal snuck in and he got our brother Fred Hampton deleted. Why? It's because folks didn't want to call him out. Trust me, there was folks who knew. There was folks who knew, trust me, you ain't getting by everything on foundational black American freedom. It's just the folks who knew they were not aggressive enough to call that shit out. And I'm telling you right now, when you see a fleer or a fleeman or a flea or a tether, call they ass the fuck out. And don't let nobody shame you out of it. See, the policing of our words, that's always the first step of infiltration. You feel me? That's always the first step. Those who try to police you are those who are trying to infiltrate you. Because policing our community, policing our words, and policing what we say, that's basically them trying to get us to drop our guard. And we are the first line and the only line of defense. So therefore, we have to have these terminologies. Y'all remember in the world when we did not say tether? We did not say fleer. We didn't say coon or sambo. See, folks was running around here with a whole different lexicon. The lexicon back in the day was friendly. It was happy. It was happy, dappy, sappy. It was an everybody can come on in. It was a we all the world, we all the children type of energy. That's what they try to put on us. Because if we're walking around here talking about we are the world, then the whole goddamn world is going to come and try to steal from you. And that's exactly what these motherfuckers was doing. And then we showed up and we said, first things first, we going to change the whole goddamn vocabulary of Black America. That's the first thing we did. All right. We self-identified and then we got rid of all the bullshit words, the bullshit phrases, the bullshit statements, the bullshit lingo, and we put in some real certified statements. All right. We quit saying yes, we can, and we start saying I wish a motherfucker would. We quit saying can't we all get along, and we start saying fuck around and find out. We quit saying we all black, and we start saying lineage based. And now we're saying tether, fleer, fleeman, and fleas. And if anybody has a problem with that, fuck them. Tell them Black Alpha Network said fuck them. And if y'all all agree with me, can I please get that black power fist in the chat? Thank you very much. Certified salute. That's how we do. And we don't give a damn how they feel. See, we are in the time frame where feelings are the least concern to us. I could give a fuck about anybody's feelings if they not on code. If you ain't certified, I could give a goddamn about your feelings. I ain't got no fucks given. All right, I'm all out of fucks, okay? They gave fucks during the Civil Rights era, and that's why we got all that tap dancing. They gave fucks during the Yes We Can era. That's why we got all that tap dancing. You can go all the way back. Reconstruction, all across the board. They gave too many fucks away, and that's why they got fucked in the game. And we ain't about none of that shit. Fuck your feelings. If your emotions get hurt, then you in the wrong fucking building, all right? Somebody told me, they said, Black Alpha, can you stop cussing? I said, man, fuck that, all right? This is real. We dealing with anti-black racism. We dealing with anti-black race war. We ain't here to put on buttons. We're not here to talk all prim and proper. We're here to motivate our people. We are here to get something out of you that if you don't even know is inside of you, we get just 1 inch of greatness out of you, we're going to pull it out of you. We're going to pull it out of you because we're going to need all that. We're going to need every ounce of what you have so we can replace this system of anti-black racism, of supremacy with the system of justice. And that system of justice has to revolve around foundational Black American freedmen. That's what I'm all about. And I know my brothers and sisters are with it. See, we come from a culture and the lineage of being real. All right, we're not here to play fake games. We ain't playing patty cake. We see what that's gotten us. That's gotten us a motherfucker on Edmund Pettus Bridge getting his ass whooped and then bragging about getting his ass whooped until he died. 60 fucking years of bragging about getting your ass whooped. Boy, that's a hell of an ass whooping. Ain't nobody whooping our ass. I'm gonna say that right now. This is not the generation of getting your ass whooped. This is not the turn the other cheek generation. This is not the can't we all get along generation. And this is not the we are the world generation. That is what the fuck it ain't. Let me tell you what it is. This is the era where we not getting our asses whooped. We whooping ass. There's a big difference. We're not receiving, we dishing it out. And I don't mean just whooping somebody's ass physically. No, we whooping their ass politically. We whooping their ass socially. We whooping their ass with reparations. We whooping their ass with tangibles all across the board. If you see Freedmen, then you guarantee Freedmen are winning by whooping somebody's ass. And that's how you got to do it. And that simple change of approach, that fuck that, all the emotions at the door, we going to be business-like. That type of demeanor will change everything. And that's what we're doing. And that's how we're rising up. And that's how we're rising above. And you do that by not allowing somebody to police your words. All right. All that be nice to everybody. Y'all notice that we're the only lineage on the earth that they ask you to be nice. And there's black folks who tell other black folks to be nice. Can y'all please stop with all the profanities? Can y'all please stop with all that curse words? I mean, this is a system of supremacy where there are a stack of black folks who have been harmed and deleted by the race soldiers, but that's not the problem. The problem is y'all said some 4-letter words we don't agree with. Man, fuck that. How about that one? There's a 4-letter word for you. Fuck that.
So, Black Alpha, what you think about that? And anything else you would like to build on?
Appreciate the love, family. Salute to you, Brother Marcel, my brother B Zilla, Naheem, everybody in the Space Kid Gravity. Family, 100% I agree with you, and I feel we don't say tether enough. I feel in 2023 what we all should do is make sure we say tether at least 20 times a day. Find a goddamn tether and point their ass out, because we've all seen what an open door policy does to us. An open door policy is the reason why we've been put in this political hole and this social hole. So what we have to do is understand whoever's coming inside who is not representative of what we are about, we got to get them the fuck out. Hey, feelings may get hurt, but this ain't a game of feelings. This ain't a game of emotion. It's all business. And if my business is too personal for you, then that's a personal problem. So I got a couple terms, man. I say we need to come up with new terms. I say we got these goddamn tethers. We got these fleemen, these fleers. Go ahead, what you say, brother?
There you go. You said one that I call them fleas. Hey, but I like what you said, fleas. We got Freedmen or we got Freedmen. I like
Yes,
that.
indeed. We got Freedmen, we got Fleamen, we got Freedmen, and we got fleas. And we need to let everybody know which one it is. Pull out your goddamn bug spray and get to spraying all the fleas up. Because at the end of the day, if you do not respect our lineage, our culture, and our heritage, you are an op. And you know, ops, I don't care about an op's feelings. At the end of the day, no one cares about our feelings when we built this country. Everything we've done to each other, by each other, for each other. We stand next to each other. We build, we work, we shine, we grind. And nobody's ever came over here and lifted one finger for us. If I ask everybody in this room right now, name me one ally that has ever assisted foundational Black Americans, you couldn't find me one person. And I'm going to spot you the whole planet Earth. You got 7 billion people from all these continents over every single ocean, and you can't give me one person that has ever legitimately helped foundational Black Americans. Well, if that's the case, then fuck them all. It's going to be FBA all day, Freedmen for life. And if anybody's got a problem with that, then they can take their tether ass and they can hop back over that river, over that fence. They can get on that passport. They can hit rewind. They can hit reverse. And they can land back in their homeland. Because when you come here, you will always respect the people who built this country. You will always respect the architects. And that architect is a foundational Black American freedman. So all of the tethers, the fleers, the fleamen, and the fleas, respect it, because we know you cannot check it. With that said, I salute to everybody in the space. FBA for life. One love. Black Alpha Network.
We ain't playing those games because we understand that you have to be just as aggressive as all the perpetrators and all the infiltrators are. Trust me, they're not playing nice when they're coming over here to this country and they're trying to steal our tangibles. They're not playing nice when they're coming over to this country and they're trying to harm our children when they walk through their yard. They're not playing nice when they see foundational Black Americans get into the bag. They are doing every single thing possible so they can stop us and prevent us, and being nice ain't one of them. And as a matter of fact, when you are in a race war, nice, you better leave that shit on the corner. You feel me? You ain't never gonna win no anti-Black race war by playing nice. We got to be aggressive, we got to be stern, and we gotta let these motherfuckers know you are an op until further notice. There ain't nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, men and women will solve this. When you put intellectual minds in the same place at the same time, we can figure out who's for us and who's against us real quick, okay? We got to stop this shit like we not mature enough to find out who the op is and who's the friend. You know what I'm saying? This little shit like we just can't figure it out. We know exactly what it is. All the real ones are going to identify all the real ones. That's why we created the term real, recognize real. I know exactly who's on code by the way they act. All right, not just the words that comes out their mouth. I'm talking about when your words and your actions connect, then we know we got a real one. Then we know we got a brother or sister that we can build with. And I think we do a damn good job of it too, family. I think we do a damn good job. I know when I see my brothers who are on code, and I know when I see my sisters who are on code. When we were in Washington, D.C. at the Reparations rally, I could feel the love. And you could tell who was the op. And guess what? We all identified the ops and we ran their ass right the fuck out of there. They meant nothing. Anybody who showed up with some negative energy, with some type of divisive energy, we all seen them and we ran their ass out the paint. We didn't have to sit down, have a fucking meeting. We didn't all have to talk about it. We knew it, we seen it, we spotted it, we got it up out of there. We are very powerful with our energy, all right? We are very powerful with our intellect, and we are very powerful when we're on the same page. This game where they try to play like we just don't know who's nice and we don't know who's good and we should just let everybody in, that's just somebody trying to fool us. And that's the main thing that a fleer feeds off of. They feed off of coming to a foundational Black American and saying, we're all black, brother. Don't call me tether, brother. Don't call me fleer. I mean, I do tether to all your policies. I do tether to all your tangibles. I do flee from my homeland. I have fled from my nation, but don't call me all that. Nah, fuck that. Nah, If it look like a flea, we gonna call it a flea, and these motherfuckers got fleas. All right, they got fleas all goddamn day, and we gonna call them that. If they feelings get hurt, fuck them. It's not our problem to worry about somebody else's feelings, because ain't nobody ever worried about ours. Ain't nobody ever worried about ours. When we're up here in this FBA against the whole goddamn world, please name me one heritage or lineage that has ever came to us and say, we got y'all back, and then actually stood by this shit. Name one. Name me one ally that has ever came to foundational Black Americans and really assisted us. Ain't none. So the very fact that we could say across the whole planet, now mind you, I'm talking about the whole earth. I'm not talking about who got our back in a small county. I'm not talking about who got our back in a small town. We are sitting here talking about the whole goddamn planet. 7 billion people, and you can't come up with one who's a genuine ally of foundational black American freedmen, that means all the world for us to say, fuck everybody, we doing our own thing. And that's what we're doing. We're doing our own thing. And you see what the results have been by doing your own thing? That's got folks talking about reparations, numbers, dollar bills, dollar signs. And we've seen the aftershocks and the domino effect that that's had on the whole goddamn country, on the whole world. You got people calling in, I'm telling y'all, we done held spaces personally where you got folks calling in from every single continent. I'm not playing. This is not hyperbolic, family. I mean this shit. Cold blood, to the point, literally. You have folks calling in from every single continent with every single accent from every single background, and they're talking about our reparations. They see on that same Twitter that reparations trended all year. They seen that foundational black Americans, foundational black America, foundational black Americans, FBA with an S at it. They seen all of those things have trended all year round. And they watch it and they clicking it and they saying, damn, them FBA Freedmen is getting their game right. Them FBA Freedmen are on point. This FBA Freedmen era is different than any FBA Freedmen era we have ever seen in our lives. What are we going to do about it, Mr. Lumbaba? What are we going to do about it, Mr. Jorge? What are we going to do about it, Mr. Muhammad? What are we going to do about it, Mr. Chang? And then they start saying, well, let's team up on them. Let's call in their Twitter spaces. Let's go sit in on their panels. Let's have one of our rallies at the same place where they're having one of their meetings. Y'all seen that? Y'all seen when our brothers and sisters were having a reparations rally, a reparations summit, and discussing foundational black American freedmen affairs, then all of a sudden Iranians showed up talking about something that happened in Iran. And then what's the first thing they said? We all people of color. Notice how you got folks who are from different continents, don't even speak the same language, don't have the same religions. They have literally nothing in common other than they all use the same fake ally language when it comes to us. You'll have a person from way on the far east, someone way on the far west. You'll have folks in the desert. You'll have folks in the jungle. You'll have folks on an island. Don't none of them get along, but they can all say, we all people of color, black people. You see what I'm talking about? That lets you know that the FLIR-isms travel across state lines, county lines, and it flies over oceans. So I don't give a damn if your ass is in a state line. I don't give a damn if your ass is over the state line. I don't give a damn if your ass is on the island in the ocean, you swimming in the ocean, you're floating in the ocean. Fuck all of y'all. That door's closed. This is all about FBA, and we're gonna put a tag on you for however you act. Meaning, if your ass acts like a tether, we're gonna call you a tether. And we're gonna put that shit in big ass capital letters. Your ass acts like a FLIR, we're gonna call your ass a FLIR. Your ass acts like a Sambo, a butter biscuit chaser. Your ass act like a tap dancer. You gonna get called all of the above. And we're gonna say that shit loud and clear until you get the motherfucking point. And that's the reason why the game has changed. And that's the reason why this era is different than any other era. This is genuinely the reparations era. But I want you to put right there in parentheses the also no fucks given era. You dig? And that no fucks given era has got us out here thriving. That's why we're about to go down to Dallas at the FBA Expo, the same way we was in Washington, D.C. at the reparations rally, not to mention all of the other brothers and sisters who are connecting out here on a day-to-day basis, networking. That's why we are winning in the game. That's why they are afraid in the game. And that's why we are changing the game. And it's all based upon us being lineage-based, heritage-based, and culture-oriented. And we doing that shit the way Freedmen always do it, in style. So they can come over here. They can try to duplicate our style. They can say whatever the fuck they choose, whatever the fuck they please. They can come over here and get a fake ass FBA hairline. You can't come in the door with that. Hey, that's another thing too. They be thinking like we can't spot them out. One thing about us, man, we know an unfamiliar face. Oh yeah, and we can spot a non-FBA hairline from across the street and around the corner. We see that shit through walls. We got X-ray vision when it comes to that. You think you gonna pop up on us with a fake ass hairline? That shit is blowing in the wind and the wind ain't even blowing. Oh, your ass got another thing coming. Nah, never that shit. So we've been seeing them. So Akon, let me get back to that guy real quick. I got to get back to him real quick because we've been roasting these FLIRs and tethers and there's so many of them it's hard to keep up on. But let's focus on this guy right here, all right? He was running around here talking about some Africans got more stage presence than us. Obviously, he has a lot of foundational black American jealousy. You feel me? Because he wakes up deep down inside, just like all the FLIRs family, they wake up deep down inside and they wish they were foundational black Americans. You don't run to somebody's homeland if you don't want to be like them. You don't talk like them or walk like them if you don't want to genuinely be like them. He is just coming to acceptance that he cannot be a freedman and he doesn't have our freedman soul. And y'all know how acceptance is. Some people get emotional, some people get sad, some people get angry, some people lash out, and some people just throw little pot shots, and that's what he's doing right now. But trust and believe, he probably goes home at night, grabs him a little comb, stands in the mirror. Hold on. I'm sorry, fam. He ain't got no comb because the motherfucker ain't got no hairline. He probably gets the biggest bamboo stick he can find and stands in the mirror and acts like that motherfucker's a microphone and be talking to himself. I'm not really Akon. Don't call me Akon. My name is Aquarius. I'm not really from Senegal. I'm from San Antonio. Hey, don't get it fucked up. These people who run around here and duplicate our culture all day long, y'all know they got to put in some minutes. They put in some time for that shit. They spend hours, countless hours trying to get that shit right. When you running around here with an FBA hairline, oh, you've been watching some FBA hairline for quite some time. This motherfucker probably got that shit on freeze frames, posters and shit. You probably look at his laptop, he got up windows. He probably got 50 windows and every one of them got a different FBA hairline. That motherfucker know more about our hairlines than we know them. He be like, that right there, that's a Georgia hairline. That one over there, that's an Alabama one. You could tell that's a California hairline. This motherfucker see details we don't even see. That's how much they study us. That's how much we're in their head rent free. I'm telling you. You don't see motherfuckers wearing do-rags and shit. Motherfuckers got gold grills trying to rap like us unless they are sitting there studying and practicing. That's really what it is. FBA, we're basically like a curriculum. You feel me? We're like the professors, and these motherfuckers is all in the classroom watching and learning and practicing. If anybody's ever traveled outside this country, that's the first thing you see. Anytime, every time I've ever left America, the first thing I seen was FBA culture everywhere. And I'm talking about in the higher ups of their societies and in the lower parts of their societies. It's everywhere. I've been places where foundational Black Americans never go, and everybody's over there acting like a foundational Black American. I'm in motherfucking Europe, and I'm seeing folks acting like they in Chicago. I'm telling you, I'm in South America, and I'm seeing motherfuckers acting like they in Atlanta. These motherfuckers acting like they from College Park, and these motherfuckers from Monte Carlo. I'm in Berlin, these motherfuckers acting like they in Baltimore. Trust me, they spending a lot of time duplicating us and getting their practice on. When ain't nobody around, all their little fleer friends are gone. When that last piece of jollof is eaten, and motherfuckers go home back to their huts for the night, he grabs his bamboo stick, stands in the mirror, and tells everybody how he's not really Akon, he's Don Aquarius. From Detroit. We know what it is, bro. We know you want to be like us. Yeah, you want to purchase that goddamn hairline if you didn't want to be like us. Stop playing. Stop playing. So you know for a fact that this guy's sitting here having these little interviews, taking these pot shots, is because it's finally dawned on him that no matter what he does, I mean, he can go get the best goddamn hair implants or whatever. He can never be a foundational Black American freedman. And this is the difference again between a freedman and a fleer. We wake up every day just being us, and they wake up every day thinking about us. And that's a complete difference, and we see it, y'all see it, we all see it, and that's what's happening. So Akon, he sat down, you know what I'm saying, with his flea ass, and he had a whole little interview, and he started talking about how African performers are different, and they're, quite frankly, he just said they're better than us. Now, I want y'all to notice before we go there, you see how when it comes to throwing little pot shots and disses at us, we're all different, right? But when it comes to reparations and tangibles and our Freedmen success, then we all Black. Then we say that they'll jump back and forth, A to B, whenever it's convenient. Whenever they mad or they jealous or they envy is showing, then it's, oh, we better in Africa. Whenever it's us being foundational Black American freedmen getting to the bag, then it's, oh, we're all brothers here in the world. Nah, fuck that. Nope, it ain't gonna be we brothers when it's convenient, when you trying to get our money. See, they only want to be brothers when they see that they can put their hand in your pot. You feel me? When we start talking about money, then all of a sudden we brothers. But whenever they get mad and they see our success that they can't get in on, and that's what it's about. It's when they can't get in on it, you see their true colors. But any other time, they're out here faking the front. They flogging. You dig? So he says that basically Africans are better. And then he starts saying some shit straight out of the supremacist playbook. He was talking about Black Americans be on stage wobbling. He said they be on stage high as hell. He said they pants be sagging.
African.
Yeah.
We a little different when it comes to stage presence. In America, oh yeah, them niggas gonna be wobbling, pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half asleep because they high as hell on stage. But Africa, we wake up morning like, look at these YouTube clips of all these kids from Uganda and you know what I'm saying? Like these kids are performers. Like so, for us, it comes natural, you know.
And since they know so much, tell me one person that can match Whitney Houston. Where's Whitney Houston in the diaspora? Somebody tell me. Show me another Aretha Franklin in the diaspora. We could just stop at Michael Jackson if you want to go there. I'll give you the whole goddamn earth. Name me anybody that can touch Michael Jackson. You can't find none. Where's the other Prince? Where y'all version of Prince at? Where y'all version of Tupac Shakur? Where's it at? I want to know. Tell me. I'm waiting. We can sit here right now. James Brown, where you want to go with this? We can do this for days. You can't show me another version of a foundational black American singer, dancer, writer, producer, director, all across the diaspora. But they talking about, we got better stage presence. How you got better stage presence when you over there doing everything that we do over here? And it's a bad, fucked up version of it. The tether version don't count. We are the trendsetters. We are the influencers. We make things go. When we put it down, everybody else follows, including y'all. And jealousy's a hell of a drug. Didn't I say Dr. Kubar Vasquez? He was saying a lot of things out of the supremacist playbook. Yeah, when he was talking that pro-black stuff, Dr. Umar, that's what I'm talking about, Dr. Kubar Vasquez, when he was sitting there talking that pro-black stuff, he only applies that to Africa. When he starts talking about foundational black Americans, he starts sounding like Sean Hannity. He's talking about, y'all don't know how to spend the money, y'all too damn dumb, y'all ain't intelligent enough. It's the same thing Akon. Akon running around here cosplaying the FBA, it's, I'm locked up, they won't let me out. But as soon as FBA said, yeah, you locked out of our reparations, we ain't letting you in, then all of a sudden it's, y'all pants are sagging. And have y'all all noticed that underlining thing with fleers, with tethers, with Pan-Africans? Every time they start to talk about foundational black Americans, you start to see this culture of supremacy. You notice that? They start to sound more and more white the more and more they talk about foundational black Americans. The closer they get to us, the lighter they become. When you peel back the layers, when you look behind the curtain, they can talk all that Africa stuff all they want to, all that diaspora, all that we brother shit. But when they start talking about Freedmen, you don't know if Dr. Umar or Bill O'Reilly said it. You don't know if it's Akon or Sean Hannity. You don't know if it's Candace Owens or Ann Coulter. It all sounds the same. If you just look at the transcript of what was said, you wouldn't be able to put a face on it. Yeah, we know that they over there swimming in cake soap backwards. We know they over there popping in them goddamn blue contacts with the blonde hair. We see all that shit. We know exactly what they're doing. That's really what Akon, Godfrey, and all these folks really need to be talking about. Why are you over here talking about us? And speaking of Akon, let's not to mention, he said a lot of things about foundational black Americans that have been real greasy, real slimy type shit. We say they got a backstabbing culture. Mind you, this guy was running around here cosplaying a foundational black American for years, talking about he got locked up. I heard he never went to jail, ever. See, he was trying to say that we were degenerate. He said that. Once again, who else says we're degenerates? Who else says that we wobble? Who else says our pants hang down? The dominant society. I'm telling you, there's an underlining theme of dominant society worship in all of the fleers, all of the fleemen, all of the fleas, all of the tethers, and all the Pan-Africans. Really deep down inside, these are folks who want to be W's, all right? They want to be W's, and the fact that they can't be W's, they can't be Freedmen, we don't fuck with them, they just get mad and start lashing the fuck out all over the goddamn place. Yeah. So he was saying that we were degenerates, and guess what? He was running around here acting like he'd been locked up. Heard he never been to jail before. Y'all remember when he brought on that little underage girl on stage? I think she was like 14 years old. Yeah, y'all remember that shit? That looked like real degenerate behavior, huh? Yeah. What about that, Mr. Akon? You want to talk about that, Don Quarius? All right, I know you're Don Quarius when you're talking in the mirror with your bamboo stick. All right, when you're deep down inside, you want to be an American Freedman, but you realize you can't be. We know it's all about worship. You worship being a foundational black American, but you realize that you ain't strong enough to be one. And in the meantime, in between time, you feel like snuggling up next to the dominant society that can get you some access to come on over here. Yeah, we know what it was. So this guy's running around talking about he been locked up, acting like he's a convict and the guy who's been to prison. He's also running around here grabbing on little girls on stage. That happened. Check it out. It's on Google, YouTube, all across the board. That's degenerate as fuck. I mean, he just got degenerate after degenerate after degenerate. Then he had his brothers going to his concerts acting like they were him. Yes, he did. This guy is faking the front all the way across the board. So is it really surprised that he had his brothers acting like him when he's been acting like a Freedman for years? This motherfucker resume filthy as hell. Filthy as hell. And he's talking about foundational black Americans. And here's the thing. Going over to Senegal. Going over there, family. And I ain't talking about go over to the nice area. See, that's what they like to do, right? Anytime you talk about how these people need to fix their homeland, the first thing they say is, well, we got some nice places over there. Y'all just hating. And then they'll go to the one part of the whole goddamn country and show you a couple nice buildings and say, see, look how good it is. Y'all's wrong. And let me tell you something, family. As soon as you walk right out that fucking neighborhood, you're going to see a bunch of fucking huts 2 houses down. Straight the fuck up. That's what it is. I'm not here to talk about the minority. I'm here to talk about the majority. The majority of your country ain't living like that. Don't tell me it's because of the news. Don't tell me it's because of the media. No, it's because my own fucking two eyes. And we understand that you can come up with the nicest, prettiest motherfucking picture of Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Zaire, or the Senegal. But I also understand that beyond that little fucking picture, beyond that little fucking postcard, people are out there suffering and starving. How do you know this? Is because half of the goddamn continent is colonized by every single colonizer that's ever stepped foot on the earth. Colonizers just say, fuck it, let's all meet up in Africa. They've literally went to Africa and split that shit up like a pie. You feel me? They said, you take that country and that country. I'll take those 5 countries. You can have those 8 countries. I'm going to take 16 of them and you can have those 13 over there in the corner. They out there handing out Africa like fucking playing cards. They out there playing poker and shit with y'all. They out here playing ace of spades with y'all, just throwing fucking countries around like candy bars. That's what they doing. But yet you want to come over here and talk about foundational black Americans. You need to worry about your own homeland. I'm not talking about that nice little pretty picture in the fucking postcard. I'm talking about one block up where folks are starving and you can see their damn rib cage. Try me, homeboy. Try me. See, we know the real shit over here. We know the real shit. I don't give a damn. And then, hey, check this out. I put up a meme the other day and it had Faison Slug, and it had his homeland of Cuba, all the property. It had Godfrey, it had Nigeria, all the property. And they had Senegal and Akon or Akon or Don Quarius, okay, and all the property. And then people said, well, what about Detroit? What about Chicago? Y'all got property. See, here's the difference, okay? We don't represent 99.9% of this fucking country. Y'all represent 99.9% of the whole fucking continent and don't own 0.1 of the fucking continent. Foundational black Americans, we don't have the luxury of representing the mass population here. Foundational black Americans, we never been the majority of people in this country. And we still living better than y'all, and y'all own the whole goddamn land and still can't figure out why you ain't got none of your resources. I remember a guy called into Tariq one day and he said, Tariq, where are our resources at? Where are they? And Tariq said, you're standing on them. He didn't even know where they was. He didn't even know where he was. All of the resources, the lithium, the diamonds, the fuel, the oil that are right there in the fucking mountains, right there in the ground, and everybody else knows where the fuck they are. You got folks who will fly all the way over from Asia and they can find them. You got folks who come all the way from the Middle East, they can find them. You got the dominant society that'll fly all the way over from here, UK, Belgium, Germany, they'll find them. And you got a motherfucker standing right there in the Senegal, he don't know where it's at. And they talking about, Akon done gave electricity to all these billions of people. Then you come to find out what we always knew. That shit was a scam and it was a fucking credit line where he's working in cahoots with China. Yes. Another guy who's sitting there selling out his people. Only difference is he's selling them out and he's talking about foundational black Americans. He needs to talk about how he's putting his country in debt. Also how his whole fucking continent is in debt. And also how every single colonizer who has ever graced this planet Earth has went over there and split the motherfuckers up like a sweet potato pie. Goddamn. Ain't that a motherfucker? You feel me? They over there with 5 of them dominating 5 billion of y'all. But yet you're talking about 50 billion foundational black Americans. You better get your motherfucking priorities straight. You over here talking about some Chicago's bad. Let me tell you also, in Chicago, you also have poverty with the dominant society. They on welfare. You also have the brown folks. They on welfare. It's all across the board spread out here. And it's the system of supremacy here. What's your motherfucking excuse? You tell me why, when you should be the richest continent on the planet Earth, that you're the poorest continent on the earth. And yet you got your eyes focused on what we doing over here in Atlanta. You over here focused on what we doing in Dallas. You over here focused on what we doing in Oakland. You over here focused on what we doing in Kansas City. Like you ain't got your own problems. Problems you couldn't get out of if you tried. You feel me? And that's what we talk about. They all have this underlining hate of foundational black Americans because they all have this underlining theme of wanting to be from the dominant society. That's why whenever they talk about us, they sound just like they came from the Republican National Convention. Straight up. Remember that Tommy Tuberville guy? When he said, they want reparations. Reparations is bullshit. Remember that? That's the same exact thing Dr. Umar says. Same thing Godfrey says. Why do you think every time you hear somebody trying to put hurdles in front of our reparations claim, it's always a fleer?
Why is it immigrants are not stopping reparations?
My ancestors come from the Caribbean, and there were slaves in the Caribbean, and we didn't
qualify for the American reparations.
Well, here's the challenge. There are so many difficulties with trying to enact reparations, in part because the question is who gets them. Potentially, I could fall into that category. I honestly have called a pipe dream in the past, and I think that's what it is.
Well, it would be nice if there was an elegant, simple solution to all sorts of complicated problems. You're not actually talking about how to fix those problems if you're only talking about reparations. If we're only debating how we're going to parcel out responsibility for something that happened more than a century ago. And we're probably never going to do this. It's not clear to me why we're pursuing this thing.
Is it fair that there's no reparations, no restitution, nothing?
Should the Irish get reparations, by the way? Irish need not apply signs when they came here during the progressive era. Sure. I mean, how far do we want to take this down? Are we acknowledging that there are ugly spots in history? Because 60% of the world would be entitled to slave reparations if you wanted to play that game.
Well, here's a fact. Slavery ended 154 years ago. It's been a long, long time since we had slavery in this country. You have people like my family. I'm black, but my family came to the United States in 1962. My parents are from Costa Rica. Do I get a check?
I did a couple of essay contests that I actually won. And I won like NAACP AXO award for this essay and something else. I can't remember another, like I ended up winning money. And the essay was, do you think black people should get reparations? And I was like, no, you didn't work for it.
Why are you so against reparations?
Valerie, it's a matter of a waste of time. We've got so much to do. And yet you have people who invest so much energy and attention on what I consider to be a dead-end idea, a dead-end movement.
Every last one of those people were a non-FBA, either African or Caribbean. Evidence. You don't have this big of a coincidence, family. I will go as far to say that 90% of the opposition that you hear against foundational Black American reparations is always coming from somebody who is a non-foundational Black American. It's usually somebody from somewhere in the fucking diaspora trying to hate on us. We understand that you're going to have the Black and Browns coalition. We understand that. But here's the problem. See, the Black and Browns coalition, we done exposed that shit from day one. All of these fleers who coming from the diaspora, they're the main ones putting all these obstacles in front of us. Godfrey, he was talking down on it. He's from Nigeria. Faison Slug, he's from Cuba. Akon said Black Americans need to get over slavery. He's from Senegal. Candace Owens, I don't even know where the fuck she's from, but she's a fleer. Because they had that fleer mentality. They got that fleer jealousy. I'm telling you, it's not just about the words that they say. It's a way of life for them. Being a fleer is every single thing that you do. You can't turn off being a fleer. No. There ain't no turn off switch when you start talking about a fleer. A fleer is going to be a fleer morning, night, day, dusk, dawn, going to go to sleep, wake up, go back to sleep, a fleer. And we going to be foundational Black American freedmen all the way across the board. We ain't got to deviate. We ain't got to turn. We ain't got to switch lanes. We're going to stay in our lane. That's the Freedmen lane. That's the Victory lane. That's the reparations, the tangibles. That's the everybody want to be us lane. They're in the damn I wish I was them lane. They're in the damn I wish I had their hairline lane. Had to. They're in the damn I wish my nation, my lineage, my culture was well respected like Freedmen. So since they can't have that, since they understand that they're not strong enough to carry that, then they got to resort to all those, y'all don't really need reparations. Why? It should be for this. And notice, whenever they start saying why we shouldn't have reparations, they start saying black. They'll throw that in there real quick. Watch it. The question would be, why should foundational Black Americans get reparations? And they'll say, no. I don't think it should be this. Black people should get it. I believe black folks are entitled to it. You see how they're trying to weasel themselves in it? That's what they did. That's why we had to come up with the term lineage based, because they try to sit in on our reparations. We done went through 5 different fucking channels. We went through first, y'all ain't gonna get it. Then we went to the, well, damn, they might get it. Let me get in on it. Then it went into the, since we can't get in on it easily, let's come up with this lie. And then that turned into, let's go to the other lie. And then it turns into, well, we ain't gonna get it. Let's try to sabotage them, because they all come from a backstabbing culture. Remember this, the F in FLEER stands for failure. Okay, one more time. The F in FLEER stands for failure. How do you know they failed? Because they're not at home right now. You damn right. If they was popping like they claim they popping, then they be popping back at home. And these motherfuckers ain't at home. They're everywhere except for home. Imagine trying to flee your loved ones. See, we can't even wrap our minds around that. That's why we say it's deeper than just location. It's about a mentality. It's about an approach. It's a lifestyle. Being a freedman is a lifestyle. It's ancestral. It's in our DNA. Being a freedman is in their DNA. They done inherited that shit. How we inherited all the certified energy that makes us strong, makes us survivors, makes us perseverers. They have inherited that weak, when shit gets heavy, run mentality. That's what they got. This is what we have. You know how they say when the going get tough, the tough get going? We mean we get going as in we start fighting back. They mean get going by packing your shit and hitting the door. This is what I'm saying. We can't be on the same line. And they understand that. That's why they try to latch themselves onto us. I mean, imagine being a part of a lineage where you got to get in a tether time machine and go way the fuck back in the day to find some type of victory. They got to go back to who built the fucking pyramids. They got to go back to 1804. They got to go way the fuck back into ancient times. Yes, I said it, family. A tether time machine. All right. They got to go back to the slave future to go get some type of truth. We ain't got to do none of that. We stay right here. If you want to see success from foundational Black American freedmen, look around. Look around. Once again, go look in the mirror. All of our pride, all of our victories, all of our greatness is right there in the mirror. We ain't got to go get no motherfucking time machine. We ain't one-hit wonders. We ain't have a hot song in 1972. All right? And now we working at fucking Walmart giving out stickers. That's what they are. That's if they even had one hit. Some of these motherfuckers ain't had one hit. So either you have the tether who never had a hit, or you had the tether who had a hit and fell off. Either way, both the motherfuckers is beneath foundational Black Americans because we kept racking them out one by one by one. We going platinum out the fucking box. That's why they want to fly over here and attach themselves, tether themselves to people who are the platinum hit makers. That is us. Let me ask this question to everybody. Matter of fact, I got 3 questions I want to ask to everybody. First question is, where would foundational Black Americans be right now if we had all the resources that they have in Africa? Where would we be right now, family? What would we do with all the resources? I'm talking about the dollars, the diamonds, the gold, the oil, the lithium, all of that. Where would foundational Black Americans be if we had all of their resources right now? Would the French be coming over there stealing it? Would the Queen of England come over there and make a crown out that shit? Or would they all be scared to death to step foot on our territory? Which one would it be, family, if we had all their resources? All right, question number 2. What would happen if we, foundational Black American freedmen, had all of the numbers they had over there? Imagine if, on this whole continent, we represented 99% of the human beings. Imagine that. Where would we be right now if we had not only their resources, but we also had the numbers advantage that they have? Because let me say this, over in South Africa right now, they're like 90% of the population. They're getting dominated by 5% of the population. Yeah, they're literally taking your grandparents and throwing them in jail. You could walk down the street, kick the fucking door open and pull them out of jail and tell the dominant society do something about it. And guess what? They don't do it. They're over there pleading, saying, please help me now, no, why not, no? That type of shit. We don't be on that type of time. You really think foundational Black American freedmen will be getting played if we had 99.9% of the population? Hell, they don't play us right now with 12% of the population. Talk to me. Come on. Y'all really think foundational Black American freedmen will be getting played if we had all the diamonds and all the minerals and all the resources? We winning right now. They're trying to put economic deprivation upon us. They're trying to put us in economic strangleholds and make us the permanent underclass, and we still get to the money. So what happens if we had the money under our feet? What happens if the land was just pumping out fucking gold? You think somebody else would be saying, get out the way. That gold is mine. It's coming back to England. You think that shit would be happening? Hell to the no. So that's question number 1. What would happen if we had all the resources? Question number 2, what would happen if we had the population advantage that they have? And question number 3, and this is the best one, y'all, and I've been asking people this for years. Where would the Black race be if there was never any foundational Black Americans? If there were never any freedmen on this planet Earth, where would the Black race be right now in the 21st century? We've been the ones keeping the lights on for years. We have been the only sense of pride for the whole fucking planet Earth since day one. We've been pushing the precedents. We've been on the front line. We have been the one where little boys and girls can look at us and get some type of inspiration. What inspiration is coming from getting your ass whooped and you got a 99.9% population advantage? What type of inspiration are you getting when you fall into the ground when you see King Charles? Did y'all see that shit? Listen. What type of inspiration is that? What is that teaching to the kids? If any black child on this planet Earth for the last 500 years was ever looking for any form of inspiration or pride, they got to look to foundational black American freedmen. We've been the ones keeping the lights on. We've been the ones keeping this race strong. And for anybody to come over here and try to tell us what we needs to do, or how we needs to do this, or how we needs to get better, they can sit their ass down. Because nobody was out here trying to assist us. Motherfuckers ain't send back one sailboat for us, but want to come over here and tell me how he needs to get in on our reparations, how he needs to get in on our tandems, how we needs to pick up our pants, and you over there getting your ass whooped by every colonizer that shows up. They splitting y'all up and passing y'all off. And we've been winning, we've been thriving, we've been sticking together, and we built this beautiful culture based upon our love and our unity together. And ain't nobody on the whole planet Earth gave us a goddamn thing. Where would the black race be without us? That's the real question. And if anybody wants to hear the answer to that, all you got to do is look around. You look at the condition of black folks across this world, and then you look at our condition, and then that gives you the answer to the question, where would the world be without American freedmen? They would be over there getting their resources stole. That's what's happening. They'd be over there getting dominated in a caste system. That's what's happening. They would be the permanent underclass. They'd be swimming in cake soap. They'd be hating each other. They'd be hating themselves. They'd be hating their skin tone if there wasn't for foundational black Americans. Hell, we're here right now, and they're still over there hating their goddamn self. They still over there practicing tribalism, selling each other out every opportunity they get. So imagine if we weren't here to be that inspiration to the world. Yes, every black boy or girl across this planet Earth is watching foundational black Americans if they ever need any type of pick-me-up, and we've been here to provide that. So since we are at the boss's table, yep, since we are the shot callers, yep, since we are in the winner's circle, yep, everybody will bow down to that. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and we wear the motherfucking crown, and ain't no fleeman or fleer or flea gonna tell us otherwise. We done put in the grind, therefore we gon' shine, and if they feelings get hurt, then that's a personal problem, because we gon' stay on ours 24/7, 365. That's what it is. So family, when you look at the whole scenario, when you look at the whole landscape, what you see is freedmen, winners, fleers, failures. There's nothing in between. They can try to twist it up, they can try to shake it, they can do whatever. But if you look just at the way we act, the way we move, the way we put it down, it's completely different. Let me tell you this. They talk about foundational black Americans, you hate each other too. No, the fuck we don't. Don't let nobody tell you that. The very fact that they got to tell us that we hate each other, that's them trying to make us hate each other. And they've been doing that shit for years. They've been trying to divide us every which way. They've been trying to divide our men from our women, our young from our old, our certified from our other certified, and that shit ain't never fucking worked. Over there, they done got them motherfuckers to fight each other to the point where they can take over the whole goddamn country. What's their first thing they say? Well, we were able to get colonized because the oppressor was able to use two tribes against each other. Okay, that means you practice tribalism. We don't practice tribalism. Motherfucker, that's tribalism right there. No, it's not. We just have differences of opinions. Motherfucker, a difference of opinion is not selling out the black person next to you so you can let the colonizer take over all of you. And it's funny how, this is how much they got a problem with each other, family. So when we say they got a negative backstabbing culture, think about this. They say they were able to be colonized because they're tribal differences. Wouldn't they have a tribal difference with the motherfucking colonizer? How much more of a tribal difference can you get than with the damn colonizer? He's from another tribe, from another continent, in another fucking part of the world. You didn't have no tribal difference with him. So, we get it now. They had so much of a tribal difference with other black people. See, that's what it is. You notice you don't never hear about tribal differences when it comes to people who are not black. See, when someone's not black, they're the colonizer, and they put that motherfucker up on their shoulder. They throwing parades, they're waving their fucking flag and giving them the red carpet treatment. That's a different tribe. What's more different than a colonizer? It's funny how the colonizer's tribe gets a lot of love and affection, but anytime it's another black person, then all of a sudden it's, we had differences of opinions and the tribes will fight each other. Okay, so I get it now. So translation is that you have a problem with other black tribes, but you have love for every colonizer tribe. And that's exactly why they've been colonized. Hey, let me ask this question. This is question number 4. Just came up with this one. Okay. What's the only color of people that Africans would never allow to come over there and get something for free? What's the only color of people that Africans do not welcome with open arms? What's the only color of people that you consistently see stories about them folks getting attacked, getting their phone snatched, getting chain snatched, getting kidnapped when they show up over there. That color of people is other black people. If you're a non-black person, you can go over to Africa and you can walk away with every fucking diamond you see. If you're a black person, we've all heard the stories. They catching hell over there. How many black folks did you hear say, man, we's gonna move over to Africa because that's the real mother homeland and the oppressive state of America we can never build because over there is where our roots are. How many of them motherfuckers went over there and you seen come flying back the fuck over here and say they had a terrible time? They said, man, fuck that. We couldn't speak the language. Motherfuckers was treating us like we were outsiders. There wasn't all that love that we thought was gonna happen in our Pan-Africanism brains. And that's if they even come back, because a lot of folks went over there and got robbed on day one. Let's keep it a buck all the way. Every year we've heard stories about black folks, whether that's on the internet or that's black folks you may know personally, that have said they went over there and it was not this utopia that they thought that they was gonna see. They thought they was gonna touch down in any random fucking place over there, not know the language, not know the dialect, not know the culture, and they thought they was gonna come over there and get some type of love, and they never did. Now mind you, foundational black Americans, we go to these places and we show respect. We'll try to wear their clothes. We'll try to speak like them. We'll be very accommodating to their culture. They don't do that when they come over here. When they come over here, they try to talk down to the natives, us. They try to talk down to the originators, us. We'll go over there and try to be very respectful to their culture, and they'll still hate us. And we hear stories about that shit every year. Matter of fact, this year, I guarantee you hear another 80 of them. And that's reality. So what do you see? Is that when you're black and you go over there, when you're black and you run into them, they got that same tribal shit that goes on in their homeland. They bring that shit over here. And then when they find out foundational black Americans, we don't do that. We ain't on that type of time. We love and respect each other no matter where you from. You from the East Coast, the West Coast, down South, or the Midwest. If you an FBA, we rocking. See, they cannot stand that we can build and stand next to each other as brothers and sisters. And they can't stand next to each other for 2 seconds without stabbing each other in the back. And that only adds to the jealousy, the spite, and the vitriol that they have for us. So we know the reality of where all that fleer mentality comes from. And that same fleer mentality that we just spoke of is the same thing that's got these motherfuckers hopping on a plane, flying over here and trying to tell us, you don't work hard enough, stay away from us. That's what we hear. And we've all heard the stories where their parents tell them stay away from the Makatas, right? Matter of fact, here's another goddamn thing. Here's question number 5. We'll be here all day. And we just freestyling right now. This coming off the top of the dome. Question number 5. What terms do they have for the dominant society and the colonizer who comes over there? What terms do they call them to identify that this is an opposition? What terms? We know what terms they have for us. What slurs do they call the colonizer? What is it? Mr., Massa, Boss? That's what I hear come from them when they're talking about the colonizer. But you start to hear shit like Akata when you start talking about foundational black Americans. And then they'll tell you shit like, well, Akata, that's only a Nigerian word. Let me tell you something. That's like meeting somebody and they say the N-word was created in Mississippi. But then you hear that damn N-word used all the way across the world, like other people can't pick it up. And not to mention, there's 7, 8 other terms that they use for foundational black Americans. I heard somebody try to tell us that Akata, meaning a fucking stray cat, somebody try to tell us that's a good thing, that's a compliment. This is how low budget these motherfuckers are. They will get to the point where they're trying to tell you that being called a stray cat is a good thing. This is how sleazy they are. And this is what happens when you encounter somebody who has a Freedmen mentality. Do not be surprised that the same motherfucker who left his homeland, left his family, left his friends, left his culture, left his ethnicity is the same motherfucker telling you that being called a stray cat is a compliment. That is what you're dealing with. So when I sit here and tell everybody that a Freedman, a fleer, and a flea is as low as it gets, that point right there proves it all. Every day. Speaking of black folks who go over there and get treated with vitriol, get treated with disrespect, we don't even have to go that far to figure it out. Now, mind you, every year we hear about 100 stories of black folks and their terrible experiences going over there. Did y'all see Meek Mill, the rapper that went over to Ghana? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the damn mob that came after him? All right, let's break this down. Because you had Tether Twitter try to come out and try to make excuses. No, they was just trying to say hi to him. That was just them being friendly. Fuck that. That was a mob. That was an anti-FBA mob. Trust and believe, you don't have all of these fleers who hop in our Twitter spaces, drive taxis, and do Uber rides, and have all this spite and vitriol for foundational black Americans, but yet when you see a whole mob over in Africa trying to rob a foundational black American artist on fucking screen, that wasn't some type of anti-FBA mob. Shit, it's the same people. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, half the motherfuckers that you seen right there was the same motherfuckers calling in Tariq Nasheed spaces, saying, I don't believe in reparations. Where are you from? I'm from Chicago. No, the fuck you not. I'm from Alabama. No, the fuck you not. I'm from Atlanta. No, the fuck you not. Where you really from? Okay, I'm from Zimbabwe. Y'all know okay, I'm from Zimbabwe. Y'all know that fucking crowd. Let's stop playing. Any of you who done seen the Twitter space, y'all done all heard that motherfucker who ran for 15 minutes and swore to you that he was a foundational black American. Even though you can hear him talking through his tether ass teeth. You can hear his motherfucking teeth was at a 45-degree angle sideways as fuck. You can hear the Jollof popping out his mouth, and he was still swearing that he was an FBA. And then you ask him, where your people from? Then he says, okay, I'm from Zimbabwe. Motherfucker, we knew you was. Stop playing with us. FBA can see a tether from a mile away. That's the motto. An FBA can see a tether from a mile away. The fuck out of here with that shit. Acting like you from goddamn Chicago. Claiming you from the South Side. Motherfucker, you from the South Sierra Desert. You better get the fuck off my line, Simba. Fuck out of here. Trying to play FBA. Man, we the wrong motherfucking ones. We the wrong ones to come out with that bullshit. Don't try to cosplay my culture, brother. I'm gonna see that shit from a mile away. Motherfucker, I'm from Zimbabwe. No shit. Tether. Quit trying to fucking play us. You better go back to your fucking hut on your telephone. Get out of here with that bullshit. I know young middle school black folks who can spot a tether. That's how bad it is, family. These fleers and these fleemen, man, I got young folks who are teenagers who can see through that shit. Straight up, just say, oh, that motherfucker right there, he ain't from America. Where he from? Where your people from? Better take that shit back to the Dahomey tribe, motherfucker. Hey, so that's what they tried to do. They was trying to mob on Meek Mills. Straight up. I think they took his phone. That man was shook. Watch the video. Watch the video. There was a bunch of savages. Don't tell me that wasn't no mob. You got all these motherfuckers trying to make they tether excuses, all those fleemen excuses. When I sit here and say that was some fleas, that was some motherfucking fleas. They was sitting there trying to get everything from that dude. He's hopping over fences and shit trying to get away. Now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh no, he had a good time. He came back and said he loved it there. You know what he's doing? Okay? He know that video came out and he's seen how he was sweating in that video and he's seen how he was scared in that video and he don't want his street cred fucked up. So he went back and tried to do some damage control and say, oh no, I had a great time in Ghana. Brother, you wasn't having a great time in that goddamn video. All right? We all seen the shit. He was running. That man was running for his life. That man was running for his life. Imagine if there wasn't security there, what they would have did. This is what I'm talking about. What would have happened if there was no security there, if there was no crowd control? Matter of fact, the crowd control looked pretty fucking bad anyway. But imagine if they weren't there. What would have happened? That was a straight up mob, an FBA mob. You don't ever see those type of videos when you see the Asian colonizer. You don't ever see those type of videos when you see the Chinamen go over there, when you see the European go over there, when you see the Arabic man go over there. Have y'all ever seen that type of video there? Or is it only with a foundational black American? Have y'all ever seen a mob of people coming after anybody else other than one of us? That's it. Case in point. We done proved it. Show me. If anybody can prove to me, I'd be more than glad to see it. But what I do see, I see them waving other people's flags, putting other people up on their shoulders, giving them that red carpet colonizer treatment. But I see foundational black Americans going over there getting kidnapped, getting robbed, getting mobbed, getting kicked, getting stole on.
Meek Mill fights for his life before his Afro-Nation show.
All of the proof, all of the evidence is right there on camera. We done seen it from time to time. You ain't seen nobody else with that same type of mentality. So it shows you once again for the millionth time the difference between a freedman and a fleer. We ain't jumping on nobody, okay? Let's get that straight, all right? You ain't walking down the goddamn street and you gonna have black folks just grabbing at you and pulling your chain and shit. You ain't never seen nobody have to run out of a fucking country over here. I seen people saying, man, that same shit happen if a rapper go to the hood. Does it? Rappers be in the hood all the fucking time. Fuck you talking about? Half the fucking rappers that we see be in the fucking hood. That's why everybody says, man, rappers need to stay out the hood now. Because half the rappers stay in the fucking hood. You got motherfuckers out here doing concerts in the hood. Don't tell me that a foundational black American would ever do that with a foreign artist. Okay, when a foreign artist comes over here, the first thing they do is they go perform, and foundational black Americans don't mob them. All right, you know why? Because we don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something. Hip hop culture has a lot of issues. All right, hip hop culture has a lot of problems. But one of the problems that hip hop culture does not have is hip hop culture would not mob a foreign artist and try to take their goddamn phone and rip their shirt off, and motherfuckers gotta push them all out the way. Matter of fact, tell me where it's happened. That's all I'll say. Fuck it. Where's the evidence? Show me where that's happened. It has not happened because we ain't thinking like that. And first off, we don't even have to say this is any different scenario because show me where it's happened to Meek Mills. Show me. Meek Mills is from Philadelphia. He's from North Philly. Okay, show me a video where he's in North Philly or he's in North Atlanta or North Chicago, and show me anywhere where he's being treated like that. The only video I see of Meek Mills being treated this way is when Meek Mills is over in Ghana. You do not see these videos when he's in America. When he's in America, he performs, he goes on about his day. When he's in Ghana, he's getting chased over goddamn fences and he's getting snatched at and pulled at by a mob. So don't sit here and try to tell me that, oh, that would be the same way here in America. No, the fuck it wouldn't, because if it has, show me the footage. Exactly. Show me the footage where foundational black Americans are stabbing each other in the back and practicing tribalism. Show me the footage where foundational black Americans are doing fucking cannonballs in the cake soap, doing fucking backstrokes in cake soap. That's another thing when you talk about a freedman and a fleeman, all right? Everybody wants to talk about how we're all brothers, we all the same, man. Are we? Are we? Because let's get this straight about the skin bleaching thing. So don't be surprised, first off, if a fleeman is in love with cake soap. As a matter of fact, I actually did a study about cake soap and skin bleaching. And did you know that cake soap and skin bleaching products are sold predominantly by a mass amount in countries outside of America, going through the Caribbean, going through India, and going through Africa? That is where they receive the most of their sales. When you look at cake soap and skin bleaching sales, America is at the bottom, all right? Foundational black Americans don't do that. First off, if you come around here bleaching your goddamn skin, and one day you show up and you're dark as night, and then the next day you show up looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost, you getting your ass roasted. You ain't ever gonna wanna come around again. See, we have mechanisms in place. You feel me? If your ass is cooning, you gonna get called a coon. If your ass is a butter biscuit chaser, we gonna call your ass a butter biscuit chaser. If you a tap dancer, you getting called a tap dancer. We got terms for everything that a motherfucker does that's off code. These other groups, they don't have those terms because they all participate in it. You understand that? Anytime you deal with somebody in their homeland and they don't have terms for sellouts, that means that the majority of them sell out. It's normal. That's why they don't come up with terms, because everybody does it. Why the fuck would you call somebody a coon if the whole fucking population is cooning? Why? The reason why we call motherfuckers coon is because the majority of us are on code one way or another. And skin bleaching and putting your face in some fucking bleach, that ain't something that goes on over here. We call motherfuckers out. Point blank, bottom line. So many people from across the world, they try to bring that shit over here and try to dump all their dirty baggage on the foundational black Americans, and then they get upset when we reject that shit. We reject that shit wholeheartedly. You're not gonna put that off on us because we understand we have a culture of regulations. We regulate anything that is off. If we see something that ain't right, we don't even have to know each other. I can see you right now and you can see me. We could look at each other and the motherfucker walk in here and he was black yesterday, but today he looked like a goddamn snowflake. We gonna look at each other and be like, look at this motherfucker. You see him? Man, I see his ass. Oh, hell no. You can be from goddamn St. Louis. I can be from goddamn Jacksonville, Florida. And we gonna start talking, we gonna combine and roast his ass where he ain't ever gonna wanna come around us again. That's why they take that shit elsewhere. It don't go on here like that. That's another thing that they do that we don't do. The backstabbing, the tribalism, the cake soap. We don't have any of that. We don't mob our motherfucking artists. None of that shit goes on the certified side of things. That's why there is a complete difference between them and us. That's why all the games that they play, all the terminologies that they use don't flow. Everybody wants to come over here now. And y'all notice this? You've been seeing a lot of these folks say, man, we's not alls tellers. We's not alls bad. We got y'all back. Listen, don't come tell me how y'all not alls tellers. You need to just start regulating alls the tellers. All right? You feel where I'm coming from with that? Don't come up in here telling me, man, we not all fleers. Then regulate all the fleers in your homeland. See, we don't have to go around the earth and apologize for our off-coded people, because our off-coded people getting their ass regulated right here. We G-check them motherfuckers in America. So therefore, they understand we're not gonna take our cooning somewhere else, because right here at home, they done got a good dosage of what it's like to get fucking G-checked. So they keep that shit at bay. In these other places and these other Freedmen homelands, they run around and just do cooning 24/7, 365 with no regulation. Don't nobody say shit. A lot of times people applaud it and they encourage it. They say, oh man, keep on cooning, and then their coons come on over here. They export all their tether class. They export all their Freedmen class, all their Sambo class, and then they come over here and they try to pull that shit on FBA and we G-check their ass and then they say we xenophobic. No, we're not xenophobic, we regulators. That's what the fuck we are. We regulate whole shit, we regulate off-coded shit, and we regulate anybody who comes at us with disrespect. You better wipe your feet. So don't get mad. Don't say how means we is. Don't try to sign no motherfucking pension and say FBA's a hate group now because they don't allow us to steal from them. Nah, you ain't never gonna steal from us. See, they're used to coming in our house, walking through our house, stepping on our carpet, making that carpet dirty as fuck and stealing shit out of our refrigerator. That's what they used to. And the moment you told these motherfuckers no, that's it. It's just a 2-letter word. No. All of a sudden these motherfuckers is having a tether temper tantrum. And that's what you're seeing, a complete meltdown. Because in their Freedmen homelands, it's okay to sell out each other. But when they come here, they get G-checked and then they throw a tantrum. In their tether homelands, it's okay to backstab each other. Then they come here and they get G-checked and they throw another tantrum. In their tether homelands, it's okay to use another black person for your own political gain, your own social gain, or whatever the fuck. You come here, we don't play that shit. You get your ass G-checked and then you throw a tether temper tantrum. Because remember, the F in FLEER stands for failure. And the T in tether stands for tantrum. And these motherfuckers is having all types of tether temper tantrums and Freedmen fleers failures. And we gonna keep them motherfuckers running amok because that's the way we do things on the certified side. So basically what I'm saying is when you deal with certified foundational black American freedmen, you're dealing with the real ones. When you deal with pretty much anybody outside of that circle, you're dealing with the counterfeits. You might have one here, you might have one there, you might have one way over there, that's cool, that rock with us, that's fine, because like I said, real recognize real. But once you start seeing that off-coded behavior, once you start seeing that little slickery, then you're gonna understand who you're dealing with, and you know what it is once we identify you. Your ass is getting folded up and twisted right on out the scene. Big facts. And speaking of seeing things from a mile away, speaking of folding motherfuckers up, oh, and by the way, Freedmen, we don't fold, we don't run, we don't hide, we stand 10 toes down right here, loyal to the soil, all right? Whatever comes our way, we deal with it, we handle it. See, that's the difference again, is when you got somebody who handles what comes to them and they take it for what it's worth, those are the type of people who get things done. That's somebody who's not a coward. See, a coward runs and hides. A coward leaves everything he loves behind. So that right there automatically shows you we can't be eye to eye, face to face. They can't exist in our presence. We are the architects. We are the people who build. And being able to build is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing when you know that you can make things happen on your own. See, what has happened is this world has always left us out to dry. They've had this whole thing where everybody teams up on us and they say, well, the FBA can do it by themselves. While they sit there and they team up and they make coalitions and they make groups and everything, we've been over here just finding love and finding strength in each other. And the thing is that has backfired against them because we have gotten so much to the point where we're used to doing it on our own. As I always say, I'm not looking for no recruits, man. I got all the foundational black American freedmen that I need right here. Matter of fact, right here in this space right now, everybody in the live chat, give me y'all and we can go to war with the world. Fuck it. Simple as that. I said it. Give me everybody in the chat right now. I don't need an extra person. All I need is my foundational black American freedmen and we win it. We right, we strong. And that's what has happened when you had people in those killing fields of the South picking cotton all goddamn day. When we had to build everything, we had to heal each other, we had to uplift each other, we had to find positivity in each other. See, we couldn't find that outside of the world because everybody else has turned their back on us or they were failing their goddamn self. How the hell we gonna look at people in the diaspora and get some type of strength when they over there selling each other out left and right? Or they gotta get in a tether time machine and go back 9 million fucking years ago to find one piece of success. Well, we got it all right here. So we are self-sufficient people because we are self-made people. One more time for your mind. We are self-sufficient people because we are self-made people. You looking at who created this right here. That's what it is. What they say, you looking at who made me. Foundational black American culture. That's what it is. So the very fact that we made ourselves, we created ourselves, that means we can do anything, anywhere, anytime, and everywhere we go. So when FBA steps into the place, all them eyes go bing, and it's all eyes on us. All eyes on FBA, and it's been that way. So the Freedmen and the Fleers and the Fleas, they can go ahead, they can sit back and watch, they can sit back and they can try to steal, but the days of stealing are over, and the days of the American Freedmen is in full effect. And see, they done got real slick now. Just go ahead and look at Parasite Twitter, all right? As I call it, Tether Twitter. you'll see a lot of these little tether Twitter sites, and they getting real clever. See, not every tether is a Freedman, but every Freedman is a tether. We got to break this down. See, you got the Freedman who's just that guy who's scared. He's a coward. He runs, he hides, he ducks, he dodges. But some of them come over here and they try to infiltrate us. See, you don't always have just your typical tether. See, we're used to just seeing the tether and saying that's the coon. That's the Sambo. You know what I'm saying? That's the counterfeit. Now, this is the new day. Now, this is the new age. You're starting to see these tethers who start reading Neely Fuller. They listen to Tariq Nasheed. You see him right there on Twitter. All the time. You see these tethers, they'll sit there and recite Neely Fuller all goddamn day long. But the more they talk, the more you start hearing that Freedmen come out. Because like I said, being a Freedman is a way of life. That's a lifestyle. And you see it. Oh yeah, left and right, family. You seeing it all the time. As soon as you tap in, go get on Twitter. You see a lot of them. It ain't just your average everyday coon goddamn Freedman. Nah, you starting to see these little slick ones. They be talking about B1, B1, B1. Listen, you can say B1 all you want to, and your ass can still be a Freedman. Okay? Don't get it fucked up. We all know it. You got a lot of folks, they like to come around us, they talk about being on code. See, they like saying on code because that gives them Freedmen cover. They like saying B1, B1 because that gives them Freedmen cover. And then when you sit down and you wait long enough, you're going to start hearing all that bullshit come out. They're going to start saying, well, my town is better than your town and my city's better than your city. That's Freedmen talk. Foundational Black Americans, we don't do that regionalism shit. Then they're going to start talking about black women need to do this. That's bullshit. That's that Freedmen talk. We don't do that gender war shit. Anytime you hear somebody talking about regionalism, anytime you hear somebody talking about the gender war, anytime you hear somebody trying to get in on our politics, that's what they'll do as well. Remember Godfrey? Godfrey will sit there and he'll name off all these black inventors. He'll talk about all these black things. And then when he starts talking about our brother Marcel, then he starts defending the Democrats. You see? Wait long enough. After the song is over, after the comedy special is done, then you're going to start hearing that Freedman talk. And he's in there saying, leave Warnock alone. Warnock's not bad. He's a good guy. You know what? Because the tether gonna tether and the Freedman gonna flee. And that's exactly what the fuck happens. So be very cautious of these guys who run around. They like to talk about Neely Fuller. They like to talk about the dominant society. Oh, they love that shit too, don't they? They love talking about, you know, the dominant society. They're so racist. We gotta stay away from them. And then next thing you know, they'll say some shit like, but you know, we as all blacks people, we need to do better. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, well, we got to be careful of all these race soldiers out here. But at the end of the day, foundational Black Americans, y'all xenophobic. Wait, let them talk. If you let them talk long enough, a tether is going to show his tether ass teeth. They'll be out here all the time. Y'all know how it is. Go look at Parasite Twitter. You'll see it straight up. You'll have motherfucker out there talking about, and if you're B1 on code, then you know. Motherfucker, sit your Freedman ass down. That's what the fuck you need to do. Your code is running and hiding, all right? Our code is building and staying strong. You don't know nothing about us. As a matter of fact, anytime you hear a non-FBA person and they start saying Neely Fuller's name and they start talking about Dr. Claude Anderson and all that, where they get that from? They didn't get it from over there because they don't have a Neely Fuller. They don't have a Dr. Claude. They done got that from here. So you got to understand whether this person is talking real foundational Black American ally or are they just being tethers in disguise. Running around here talking about something. If you're on code, B1. Motherfucker, you be gone. Gone the fuck out of here. That's what it is. But it ain't no different than any other tether from any other homeland. They always love using our terminology. Be careful of that non-FBA who's always using FBA terminology, all right? Now, you can have somebody who's like, hey, this is FBA affairs. I support y'all, but I'm going to support y'all from over here. That's what we need anybody to do. See, all this, I don't know how to be an ally and what I needs to do, that is some bullshit. It's clear. If I want to help somebody, how can I help you? You want me to do this? Okay, I'll do that. They don't want to do that. These motherfuckers want to infringe on all our shit. And that's what happens with these non-FBAs. These motherfuckers get over here, they get real comfortable, and they take all that Freedmen fleer energy that they was trying to hide for years. They was trying to stand behind Neely Fuller. They was trying to stand behind our black grassroots. And then next thing you know, they start trying to infiltrate our community, speaking on our politics. You got non-FBA motherfuckers around here talking about our FBA political game. You got non-FBA motherfuckers around here talking about our black sisters. Let me tell you something. If you are a non-FBA, don't you ever open your mouth about FBA politics around me. If you are a non-FBA, don't you ever say nothing about an FBA woman around me. Because that's going to lead your ass straight to the fucking G-check. Because you got to be cautious. Because they'll start bringing in all that shit from their homeland. They'll start running all that game. As far as I'm concerned, FBA business is off limits to you. And as soon as you see a motherfucker saying, well, I'm not from America, but I'm B1. I'm not from America, I'm on code. Well, you better keep it on code and you better keep it B1. Because soon as I see some tether in disguise, soon as I see your Freedmen camouflage on, your ass is going to get regulated. And that's exactly what we do, regulate them. So watch out for those sophisticated little slick talking tethers. The motherfuckers that'll give you about 3 weeks, 3 months, and maybe even a year of talking all that I'm down with y'all shit. Then if you listen closely, you'll hear all their negative homeland energy start to spew the fuck out. And we get their ass soon as they pop up. Yes, indeed. And it's real easy to tell when you see them. It's easy to spot an undercover tether. See, you got your typical tether. That's the one who's just out in the open and they clinging to all of our culture, clinging to all of our policies. But then you got the undercover tether. And like I said, he likes to use a bunch of our words and he tethers on to our consciousness. Oh yeah, they like to cling on to the Dr. Claus and the Neely Fullers, everybody we stated before, but they don't really relate to them on an ethnic standpoint. They just talking about blackness all over the globe. So they'll come around and they'll say some shit they read in a book or two, but they don't really be down with it. And like I said, it's real easy to spot that undercover tether. They usually got about 12 followers on Twitter. They make spaces and they get about 7 people to show up. They tweets ain't got no likes. They usually got fucked up turtlenecks and they got women issues. Big ones. Them type of people you can see from a mile away, and that's the undercover tether, the fleer, the Freedmen, and all the above. Or shall I say all the below. And they all make a living on coming over here and benefiting off of the land that our ancestors created, the land where our ancestors created policies for them to even come and visit. You feel me? So understand that when you're talking about a tether, you're dealing with somebody who is benefiting off of the labor of foundational black Americans. We don't do that to them. We don't fly over there to benefit off of their ancestors. We don't go over there and disrespect their land or disrespect their culture, but they want to come over here and make a fortune off of the access that we granted them. Well, if that's the case, then you gonna give us some motherfucking respect or you gonna get checked. All my ancestors done was provide them a lifestyle that their own tether ass parents couldn't provide for them. All my ancestors done was provide them a lifestyle that their own Freedmen ass grandparents couldn't provide for them. And all my ancestors have done was provide these tethers a lifestyle that their own great grand Freedmen parents couldn't provide for them. So they should be thanking us. And it runs deep because now you got the first generation tether, the second generation, the third generation. A lot of times you see these second and third generation tethers and they'll start saying that tether language. And then you'll ask them, where you from? They say, I was born in America. Where your people from? Where was your parents from? See, they grow up in these Freedmen households with their Freedmen parents sitting at the Freedmen dinner table, hearing their parents throw around a cotta left and right, all the way. And they got that in them. It may not come out immediately. It may take a while, but eventually, the more they speak, that shit's gonna come out. And that's exactly what we've been seeing these last few years. A lot of folks that people thought was down because they said a bunch of pro-black things, you eventually found out that they're really just tethers. Tethers in disguise. And the more they talk, the more that shit starts to seep out they tether ass pores. And we've seen it year round. And y'all notice that we done got them out the paint real quick? It ain't something that's like been everlasting. Soon as somebody was exposed as a tether, we got their ass the fuck up out of there. We said, oh damn, I didn't even know he was from there. See, we didn't have a reason to ask where he was from because once again, we were just playing it smooth. And then when we found out that you wasn't really a foundational black American, but yet you was talking on foundational black American business, oh, we get these motherfuckers out the paint quick. There's no waiting process. When these tethers get exposed, these tethers get kicked out. That's how fast we moving right now. As I say, we make up our mind and we go. When we see it, we own it. Ain't no time to waste, too much money to make. So it ain't really good out here for these tethers. It ain't good out here for these Freedmen. We putting pressure on all of them and we keeping them pressed. And that's the way it's going to be forever because this is the home of foundational black Americans. And all these folks all of a sudden talking about come home brother this and come home brother that. Before, it used to be y'all ain't black, y'all ain't real. Soon as we start talking about reparations, that y'all ain't real black folks turn into we all black folks come home, brother. Let me say it like this. I ain't gotta come home cause I'm already home. If I wanna come home, all I gotta do is open the door and step outside. My home is the United States of America. Yours can be wherever the fuck it is. But I'm in the country that I built. I'm in the country that we run. I'm in the country that we ain't had to flee from or hide from. So you can figure out whatever the fuck you got going on over there, homeboy. And I ain't gotta come home, brother. I'm already home. I can't go back to a place where I never been, Africa. And I ain't never gonna leave the place that we built, America. FBA every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. Checkmate. And that's the real thing about them. They all deep down inside are jealous of foundational black Americans because they all want to be next to the dominant society. You don't allow yourself to get colonized. You don't run from your country, flee from your country, so you can come on over here and act like us unless you got some real fucked up tetherisms going on in your brain. And that's exactly what's happening to them. Think about it. They'll all say, well, we fled from our country because of America. Hey, let's go there. Y'all want to go there? We're going to go there today. Yes, indeed. We got all the time in the world. What's the main thing all of these fleers, and I'm talking about all the fleers and all the different colors that fleers come in, okay? The rainbow of fleers. What's the one thing they always say? They say they had to flee because America started conflicts in their homeland. So America started conflicts in your homeland and you fled to America to get away from America? What the fuck kind of sense does that make? You see that fleer logic? You see what I'm talking about? The difference between a freedman and a fleer. Shit, we got all types of conflict with the dominant society right here in the country. Done had it for 500 years. We ain't left. We ain't left at all. But you mean to tell me that y'all fled your homeland because of America, and in order to get away from the W in America, you ran to the W in America? You got to come up with another one. Just say what the fuck it really is. What it really is that y'all want proximity to the dominant society. And he can come over to your homeland. He can whoop your ass with every little piece of fucking resource that you have. He can steal from you. He can harm you. He can delete you, cancel you, erase you, and you still loves him. And you got the loves for him that we ain't got. And this is where your jealousy and your envy comes from. Oh yeah, family. Fleers are jealous of foundational black Americans because they got to kiss the dominant society's ass. And they see that we don't. That's what it is. They want to come over here, and the first thing they want is to be next to Karen or Ken. They come over here with no fucking suitcase, no fucking culture, and their eyes seeing where they can find the nearest Karen. That's what it is. That's why you see them come over here, and the first thing in their brain is, where's the nearest trailer park? They'll come to the goddamn trailer park and set up shop because they feel they gonna catch them a Karen. Oh yeah, that's what they want. They want proximity to the dominant society. That's the biggest thing about immigration that ain't nobody gonna tell you, but we gonna tell you. Immigration is solely based on proximity next to the dominant society. They all want to be next to W's. That's what it is. And they hate us because we can live right next to a W and never invite them over one motherfucking date. We'll have our own get-togethers, gatherings, and family reunions, and you can't come, you can't get a plate, you can't even smell what we cooking. Keep your ass over there with your Brussels sprouts, and we gonna stay over here with our fucking fried chicken with seasoning. You stay over there with your unseasoned food, and we gonna be over here putting seasoning on every goddamn thing. And they hate that. They hate that shit. Trust me, Mr. Lumbumba's ass is somewhere in the diaspora saying, those FBAs, they live next to Karen and they don't even date her. If I would be there, I'd swirl so damn quick you wouldn't know what color I was. Y'all know that shit? They hopping over motherfucking fences down here in South America. They dusting off and they trying to find them the nearest goddamn Chad, Karen, whatever the fuck they can find, because that's what they want to be next to. Immigration is 100% about proximity. Yes, don't let nobody tell you different. You got people who are willing to walk through a goddamn desert with 115-degree temperatures on a good day. They're willing to swim over lakes and rivers that are polluted. They're willing to face hunger and dying of thirst just so they can get over here and be next to Chad, Karen, and Ken. Y'all know goddamn well that's what it is, and that's what ain't nobody gonna tell you but the black grassroots. Oh, we been knew that. You ain't over here swimming in cake soap way over in the diaspora if you ain't trying to be next to Karen when you get here. You ain't over here walking through 130-degree temperatures, ain't drank in 3 days unless you're trying to get next to Chad when you get here. We know that shit. Goddamn right we do. And they get mad because when we say foundational black American, let me give them a little translation, all right? Foundational black Americans, AKA the only people who are non-deportable. That part. They've been mad. They've been mad that we got ICE on speed dial. We got ICE on redial. We calling ICE and we calling it twice. They don't like that because that's a whole nother set of Freedmen. And they know with one phone call, we can get their ass sent right back across that border. The power's in our hands because we are foundational. We are the non-deportables, and they can get sent back home anytime we place that call. Shit, I might place one right now in a couple minutes. You never know. Stay tuned. And see, the fact of the matter is that foundational black Americans have spent so many years worrying about everybody else's issues. We've been trying to feed everybody else's family. We've been trying to take care of everybody else's problems. And we never sat down and took care of our problems. And the same people who we were helping, they never came back to help us. It was a one-sided street. The black and brown coalition. That does not even exist where those brown folks are from. Pan-Africanism doesn't even exist in Africa. It's a one-sided, invisible group that does not benefit us. So we, in this era, the black grassroots right here, are certified 100. We done stepped to the plate. We said every single thing we do is going to be all about us. All right. When we say certified 100, we mean the full 100. 100% about our lineage, heritage, and culture. If it does not pertain to our lineage, heritage, and culture, your ass is getting kicked to the motherfucking curb. With your feelings, with your tears, with your broken little tether ass heart, have fun at it. Because we gonna stay about it, we gonna stay certified, and that is the bottom line. So, therefore, since we let everybody know what type of time we're on, since we let everybody know it's FBA all day and it's Freedmen for life, everybody's got to deal with it. Nothing to change. We ain't moving a motherfucking inch to the side. That's exactly what it's going to be. And we're going to pass it down to the next generation. See, understand, this era is already being written about. This era will be talked about for the next 50 to 100 years. And the young folks underneath us, they going to remember who was really down. They gonna remember who was really trying to assist, and they gonna remember everybody who was putting all those hurdles and those blockades in front of us. See, we've ended the we show up and we all look alike. See, that's the difference. You got tethers and you got Freedmen and fleers who come from everywhere, but you gotta be very cautious of the ones who look like us because they can get in. Like I said, blackness is like a fake ID to a lot of people. They can flash that shit and gain access to places where they ain't got no business getting access. So that's why we've gotten so sharp with our regulating and our gatekeeping. We see motherfuckers, like I said, from a mile away. FBA, see your ass from a mile away. You cannot run, you cannot hide. You may run and hide from your homeland, but you ain't gonna run and hide from this motherfucking FBA work. You feel me? One more time. One more goddamn time. You may run and hide from your homeland, but you cannot run and hide from this FBA work. Once we spot you, we frame you, we identify you, we put your name in that big ass jumbotron, it's over. And now you can't even come to FBA events. Trust me, there's a lot of those little tethers running around here. And they was down with FBA, they was talking, they riding with us, and now they can't even show their face in FBA events. They done got their cars revoked. Access not granted. No security clearance. And that's the way it's got to be. Y'all know I love the term non-FBA. I love that shit. When we start saying non-FBA, nope, you non-FBA, can't come in here, you non-FBA, that's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. When we start asking motherfuckers, where your people from? Oh, I love that one too. Where your people from? Oh, that's one of my favorites. I love that shit. Because that makes a motherfucker get forced to say something. Then they'll start lying. And then when they start lying, they start exposing themselves more. So it only helps and assists us get the motherfuckers out the paint who don't need to be here. And that's the best part about it. I love saying where your people from. And then they'll start trying to give you like, they don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And then by then you like, oh, this is a goddamn fleer. Freedmen, sit your ass down and get the fuck out of Dodge. So that's what it's about. It's about us doing what works for us, because everything that we've done before in the past, all that friendly, diddly, winly shit, that just hasn't worked for us. It hasn't worked for us, and we have the right to go ahead and sever those ties. That shit hasn't worked for us, so therefore we cutting it off. It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off, and that's what it is. We gonna delete that shit like an ex's phone number. That's how you got to play the game. All that immigration and everybody can come on in, that's never worked for foundational Black American freedmen. So it is our social and political rights to go ahead and end it. And no one's going to tell us who our friends are. That's another thing. They was running around here trying to tell us who our friends were, tell us who our allies were. These motherfuckers ain't put in one fucking dollar in that goddamn bucket. But yet they want foundational Black Americans to hand over our whole paycheck. Hell to the no. So we've let everybody know, we put everybody on notice, and this era from here beyond is showing the world that it's Freedmen first, Freedmen only, and that's the way the game goes. And I'm loving it right now. I love seeing people try to get in the house that can't get in. I love motherfuckers who had it made for them because they had it sweet. Imagine never having to work for shit. Imagine you didn't even build in your own homeland, and you can come to someone else's homeland who built it, and then you can live off them. You can try to put your name where their name belong. Man, that is so goddamn low budget, so I'm loving what we're doing to them. It's been a hell of a year for us, and it's been a horrible year for every last tether or every last Freedman that you can see. And that's a great goddamn thing. I'm loving every second of it because it's good to see people have to pay them dividends or get kicked the fuck out. And we've evicted everybody from the house that foundational Black Americans built. And we're going to continue to do that. And like I said, the youth is watching. The youth is not going to fall for that game of everybody's black, we all friends. See, that's what a lot of those civil rights, Negroes sold us. And now we're going to teach the kids coming up underneath us a different story. They're going to know who had our back. They're going to know who's real. We're going to be able to tell them, hey, listen, that right there is a Freedman. That right there is a fleer. That right there is a flea. That right there is a tether. Well, what's a tether? Well, I'll tell you what a tether is. Well, what's a Freedman? I'll tell you what a Freedman is. What's a flea? I'll tell you what a flea is. All right? We pull out our motherfucking bug spray and we get to spraying. And our kids are going to have a knowledge of that. Well, we had to teach ourselves because the older generation told us a lie. The older generation told us we need to help everybody and sell our own selves out. You feel me? They sold us out so they can help everybody other than us, and they did it for a couple butter biscuit crumbs. That's okay, because we have eradicated all that energy and we've replaced it with certified energy. And you always know I say right here on the Black Alpha Network, certified BLACK. Certified energy, it negates all negative energy. All right? Soon as certified step in the building, anything that was negative before disappears. And that's the beauty of being on code and being strong in the real way, the FBA way. So the youth is going to understand who needs to come in and who doesn't. And we created that. That's why I say this era right here is untouchable. This era has changed the whole world. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding, and we do it all together. And all together, we have eradicated every last Freedman, every last fleer, every last tether, and they have nowhere to go. So in a lot of ways, we sending the motherfuckers back home. You feel me? A lot of them is getting in their goddamn tether time machine. They're going back in time. They're getting in their tether mobile and they're going in reverse. We have actually created reverse immigration, where these motherfuckers thought they was going to come over here, and they yelling now too. They over there saying, you told me when I got here I could take from FBA. You told me everything that they make was mine. These FBA now, they not let me have it. I have to get it on my own. Yep, you got to get it on your own, mister. And you're going to have to continue to get it on your own. So now they're seeing that the America that they were used to, that their grandparents and grandparents and grandparents came over here and they stole off of our grandparents, they're understanding that the offspring of our grandparents, us, ain't allowing that shit to happen no more. We done cut off their whole motherfucking food supply. That's what we done. Matter of fact, let's say it like that, family. Foundational Black American Freedmen, we have cut off these tethers' food supply. They gotta make their own fucking food. They can't come in and get all the food that we created. They can't do that no more. That shit ain't available. Now what you gotta do when you gotta cook? What happens when you gotta go hunt? What happens when you gotta go put it on the goddamn grill and flip that shit? You can't do it because you're not used to doing it. Understand, somebody who cannot do it is somebody who's not used to doing it, because somebody who's not used to doing it is someone who never had the power to do it. You feel me? We can do it because we've been doing it since day one. And when you've been doing it since day one and you're still doing it today and you're doing it with fashion and you're doing it with style, that means you're doing the certified American Freedman way. And it is known that the certified American Freedman way is undefeated. And we just live in the truth. Yes, indeed. So family, we're going to stay on game. We're going to stay right. We're going to stay pure. We're going to stay precise, because that is how we get down. That's how we've always got down. And we're going to continue the tradition of being excellent, being exceptional, and being the greatest lineage, heritage, and culture on the planet. Big facts. Man, it was good breaking down the Freedmens, breaking down the foundationals, and separating that from all the Freedmen, and separating that from all the fleers. And we're going to make sure everybody knows that when we step into place, everything that ain't real, everything that ain't on our side, it got to go by. Point blank. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Y'all know I love y'all. I want everybody to stay good and stay safe, man. We here right now for a reason. We putting in this work right now for a reason, and can't nothing knock us off our pivot, man. We making history every single day, and every single day we get stronger. So the ancestors are watching us with a big ass FBA smile, and we're going to keep it that way, because that's what it's meant to be. And we are the people meant for the job, and we doing this with style, we doing this with class, and we doing it all way. So if anybody doesn't like it, good. If anybody's upset, good. If they hating, they pocket watching, good. GOOD. Because certified foundational Black American Freedmen are always going to get it in, and certified foundational Black American Freedmen are always going to win. And let me say this before I go. When we win, we're going to win in the same place that we started. That's going to be the same exact place where we finished. We didn't have to run. We didn't have to hide. We didn't have to skip, hop, jump, flee, fled, or fold. We were just being foundational Black Americans and foundational Black America, because there'd be no USA without FBA. Bet that. One love from the Black Alpha Network. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash that like button, and make sure you tap in with the family all the way around the world and back again. We're going to continue to give them that work. We're going to continue to press them, and we're going to continue to do whatever we please. Yes, indeed. Appreciate the tap in. Certified salute to the family. And always remember, black is beautiful, and beautiful is always black. One love.